It's the start of a new week, the last week in the month of January. Good morning and welcome to the morning news. My name is Na Ashoko. The headlines. The Amansie Central District Security Council to hold an emergency meeting today after police allegedly opened fire on illegal miners, killing one person. President Mahama says Ghana's economic turnaround has stunned the global community. Investigations are underway into a viral video showing a violent confrontation between some police officers and suspected illegal miners in the Ashanti region. The disturbing footage reportedly recorded at the Bipotinting in Amansie Central District captures a scuffle, the sound of a gunshot, and a man lying in a pool of blood. The Amansie Central District Security Council will today convene a meeting to analyze the viral video. Judith Brown reports.
It's a video that got many tanks wagging. A nearly 3-minute video recorded on January 23 showed a group believed to be illegal miners clashing with some police officers. At a point during the scuffle, a sound resembling a gunshot is heard. And then follows a disturbing scene of a man in a pool of blood, sparking public outrage and renewed concerns over security operations in illegal mining areas. The Amansie Central District Security Council is expected to convene a meeting on Monday, January 26, to review and analyze the video shot at Bipotinting, a Galamsey-prone community in the Ashanti region. The Ashanti Regional Police Command says it is investigating an incident in which a district patrol team was attacked by civilians at Bipotinting while on routine duty. Deputy Regional Commander for the Ashanti South Police Command, ACP Cephas Arthur, narrated the circumstances surrounding the incident.
In the course of trying to disable him and take possession of the weapon back, he fell. And you see, we cannot allow such a lethal weapon in the hands of somebody who is not trained to use it, somebody who can be described as a criminal, because you cannot snatch the assault rifle of a police officer, a security officer, and decide to run away. It is not going to be detrimental to the bigger public of Ghana.
According to him, the intention of the police was not to shoot to kill, but rather to disable the suspect.
The person who was running away, who was bolting with the police assault rifle, was aimed to disable him and demobilize him so that we could retrieve our weapon and arrest the person and bring him to book. So the intention was not to shoot to kill him.
He further indicated that investigations are ongoing to establish the full truth behind the viral video.
The police did shoot, but as to whose bullet caught the suspect, we shall establish the veracity of it after the investigation.
Fraud prevention expert and security consultant Richard Kumado has also condemned attacks on the police service, explaining that the response by the officers followed established police operational protocols.
At the point when the other guy gave a warning shot, I think my brothers who engaged the police officers were not watching. Once they issued a warning shot, what it means is that we are ready to use our weapon, and you better stop what you are doing. Right. If you disengage a police officer and you take their weapon away, and you even attack them in a manner that warrants that you have come with an offensive behavior and you have the capacity to mend them, they have two options. Either to run away from the place and fight their way out, or to engage. And that level of engagement might be to shoot and kill or to disarm the person. Do not engage law enforcement officers in this particular manner. Other than that, it may lead to some level of discomfort that may create some level of crisis for us. And today, we are seeing one of those ones.
However, he noted that an earlier official police statement could have helped manage public perception.
This is unusual. The police force have the capacity to respond immediately by doing the initial risk assessment and find out exactly how many officers were in the field, where exactly did the incident take place, and what available remedies were available to them. All these ones would have easily been done.
The Ashanti Regional Police Command says investigations into the incidents are ongoing and has cautioned the public against attacks on security personnel. Judith Brown, TV3 News.
Meanwhile, Minister of State for the Ashanti region, Honorable Dr. Frank Amoakohene, has described the confrontation as unfortunate and avoidable. In a statement issued in the early hours of January 25th, he extended his heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family and expressed sympathy to those affected, wishing the injured a speedy recovery. Dr. Amoakohene urged all citizens to cooperate fully with law enforcement officers and to obey lawful orders at all times. He further cautioned the public against confronting the police or engaging in actions that threaten public safety, referencing videos currently circulating on social media. The minister also commended the Ghana Police Service for their continued efforts in maintaining law and order and reaffirmed the government's commitment to supporting the police and other security agencies in protecting lives, property, and public peace. He noted that investigations into the incident are ongoing and assured the public that the matter will be pursued to its logical conclusion, with everyone found to have acted unlawfully facing the full rigors of the law. Dr. Amoakohene has appealed to community leaders, youth groups, and other stakeholders to help restore calm and ensure that lawful processes are respected. He concluded by praying for the peaceful repose of the deceased. And now President John Dramani Mahama has stated that the country's economy has amazed the world, describing Ghana as a poster boy for the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. The president says the stability of the city and the general improvement in the economy within the last 1 year is unprecedented, compelling the IMF to use Ghana as a positive example for other African countries. He was speaking at the 23rd anniversary of the First Sky Group in Accra.
I've been at this job before. When we came into office, the crisis that faced us was very difficult. In my own imagination, I thought that we'll need about 2 years to begin to see a turnaround. That's what I thought. But Ebenezer, this is how far God has brought us. We're all surprised and shocked at the quick turnaround. Anytime I meet the IMF officials and the World Bank officials, they themselves cannot believe, what has happened in Ghana. So Ghana has now become the poster boy, of the IMF and the World Bank. So when they go to other African countries, they say, don't you see Ghana? Look at what Ghana has done. And that's why I say, it is only the grace of God. To bring inflation from 23.8% to 5.4% in 1 year, how did we manage that? For the first time to see our long-suffering Ghanaian currency, the cedi, that has been taking a beating over the years. Dollars have been arrested, they've broken jail and all that. For the first time to see the Ghanaian cedi appreciate by 37% in 1 year, it's only God. The IMF gave us a primary balance of 1.5%. And 2025, our primary balance is 2%, higher than the IMF gave. And so, God has been good to us. And as a nation, we must be grateful to Him.
And now there has been a growing debate over whether some of the challenges facing the current government are a direct consequence of the decisions taken by the previous NPP administration. In response to the comments from party members and leaders linking present difficulties to the NPP's time in office, former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Mike Okoye, reflects on accountability lessons learned and the need for internal reflection within the party.
How do you then interpret a lot of comments from people, both members and leaders, that whatever it is that we are seeing in the current government is because of what the MPP did before they lost power?
Basically, we accept certain problems. We accept that certain decisions were not right. We accept that certain actions and inactions should be done differently, so that when we are in power again, we'll better serve the people. And those internal admissions are very, very important. If you don't accept your wrong, you cannot improve upon your performance in the future.
And young farmers in the Northeast region are changing dry lands into productive fields with the help of the Feed Ghana initiative. This support is enabling agricultural innovation, improving livelihoods, and boosting economic growth in the region that faces significant challenges. This is a report by Solomon Kwame.
For generations, the dry season in the Northeast region has been a period of hardship, limiting agricultural productivity and economic opportunity. Today, a remarkable transformation is seen among young people as they embrace dry season farming with unprecedented successes, turning barren lands into fertile grounds. Driven by the Feed Ghana initiative, the number of young people actively engaged in dry season farming has increased in recent months. Data from the Northeast Region Agriculture Directorate reveals that more than 4,000 farmers have been registered under the Feed Ghana innovation.
The youth are seeing it as a viable business. So most of the youths are now attracted. Group numbers have increased, the number of groups that we have as compared to last year. You can see a lot of women here. The youth, most of them are within the youth bracket. So that is an encouragement that others should join.
The Feed Ghana initiative has provided crucial resources, including high-yield seeds, fertilizer, water pumping machines, and comprehensive training programs. These interventions have significantly reduced production costs and increased yields.
One of the major policies out of the 24-hour economy that we are trying to look at is by getting our people to do all-year farming through the Feed Ghana program. Come in with inputs, fertilizer to assist them to increase their yield, free of charge from the Feed Ghana program. So we are working closely with them to see how we can increase the yield and also make Northeast region the hub for tomato production, onion production, and watermelon production.
The impact of dry season farming extends far beyond the fields. It is driving economic empowerment, creating jobs, and improving the livelihoods of the youth in the region.
And I'm saying, nti adona mu na edi hwe ya maka krakakra aha eno na ye di hwe nkwala no se na ebe ya dachi ho nchire.
It is profitable to us, the farmers up north here, because when the rainy season is over, people idle, and if you take an acre of onion, for example, the yield that you would get from it is like doing 20 acres of maize.
Despite the remarkable progress, challenges remain. Access to storage facilities, market, and the increasing threat of climate change remain a serious concern to farmers. What poses a threat and fear to farmers is the sign of the white water drying up, their main source of water.
Eventually, we will get there to see how we will get their produce to in a very safe storage facilities for post-harvest losses. We are looking at all that, and we'll see how we can curtail that. But river, which is drying up, that is a white volta. And that is why we have also put in place, in collaboration with the 6 districts assemblies in the region, the 4 districts and then 2 municipalities, we have agreed to work closely to see how we can acquire a drilling rig for the region, whereby we can use underground water wherever we are getting disappointed with the climate change or the white volta, or whichever sources that we are using water, we can still use the underground water for another.
And we shall bring you more on that exclusive interview with former Speaker of Parliament Michael Quay today on TV3 Newday. Now to Kumasi. Fire has ravaged several shops and garage vehicles at Sofo Line Magazine on Sunday night. William Evans Inkum reports that the situation was very unbearable for some of the shop owners present. One woman is reported to have passed out at the scene.
The fire started at around 8 p.m. Sunday night. Scores of shops lighted. Fleet of
Sorry about that break in the video there. We'll bring you more in our subsequent bulletins. Now, Ghana is considering extending the deployment of its troops to Jamaica beyond the initial 60-day period, as more work remains in the country's reconstructing efforts. A recent visit by Ghana's Foreign Minister and Deputy Defense Minister revealed that the troops have so far rebuilt about 26 affected buildings, with many more still awaiting repairs. And that's it for the morning news today. Stay with us for more on TV3 Newday. My name is Na Ashoko.
Live from our studios right here at TV3. We're grateful that you've joined us. Let me say good morning to all of you who tend to watch us both home and abroad, both mainstream and online or virtual, depending on how you, the Gen Zs, as well as those who are trying to copy the Gen Zs, want to call it. Let me say good morning to you, Chairman Godwin Tamaklo, Chairman Prosper, the rest of the team at the National Health Insurance Authority as well, and all those good people who make sure that we're able to do the things that we do this morning. I have some great people already celebrating their birthday. So, what's today's day? I think the MPP, they are doing 5 days. So just 5 days to the 31st of January 2026.
Yeah.
Is the countdown. That'll be this weekend to the MPP presidential primaries. And number 1, I know is Kennedy Japan. I know number 3, that is Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. The rest, I really don't know their numbers, but no problem at all. Incidentally, the two seem to be the front runners.
Exactly, yeah.
So prophets have been prophesying. I think so far, DMB has more of the prophets.
I see.
Yeah, but I know El Bernard has been prophesying for Dr. Mahmoud Bami. And then I heard Prophet Walasi as well yesterday, also said DMB will win, hands down. Musa Dankwa scientifically says that DMB will win.
Yeah.
That's on the scientific side.
Yeah, that's the latest bit.
Yeah. And then our man at the Kumasi Technical University, Director of Research and then Innovation, Professor Smasapo, also says DMB will win. But we also have one other person, Evans. He did research and said Ken.
Yes, Ken
Oforiatam. Yeah. When you follow the suspicious activities of ICE, that's what happens.
What's his name? Evans? I saw that only yesterday.
Yeah. Let me go to Gaji.
Putting Kenny Japong
Gaji, get connected,
in the lead.
Yes. He sent me the research outcome.
And I think I heard Paula Dumotri comment.
Yeah, Evans Stria.
Yeah.
Evans Stria.
Yeah.
Evans Stria.
Anyway, so it's happening on the 31st. It's happening at the end of this week.
Yep.
The big day. We have over 211,000 delegates. They're going to be voting in about 333 centers. There are comments, prophecies, polls, and we're all waiting to see how the day will pan out. But it's interesting to see that young people, the Gen Zs, Roland's favorite category of Ghanaians, are very invested in this conversation and are bantering and debating online, especially on X. We might read some of your messages coming in on that. But this weekend was a big day here at TV3. Yesterday was a big day here at TV3 as we crowned our winner for TV3 Mentor, Kweku Shai. Kweku Shai has an amazing story. A story about, moving from, may I say, grass to grace. And seeing him win yesterday was very emotional for a lot of us who have followed his story. And from some of his interviews, he talks about his very, very, very humble home and very humble beginnings. And I think his win goes to tell us that it doesn't matter where you're from. What matters is what you do with the opportunities that present themselves to you. So this is a big one for Shai. Kweku Shai. Let's just take a look at some of the scenes from last night, his performance.
Victory, that's my story. Cause I never surrender. As long as I can remember, I've been hustling. Victory, victory, that's my story. Cause I never surrender. As long as I can remember, I've been hustling.
Thank you, DJ Abiam. Thank you. DJ Abiam, thank you.
All right, so can we have Magdalene's Grace portrait?
Oh, congratulations to you, Kweku Shai.
Kweku Shai.
Kweku Shai. And I like how he puts where he's from in his name. He's Kweku, so I'm not very sure.
I just asked because of the leaves.
Because of the nyanya.
Yes.
I don't know if he's Ga. But because of the Kweku, I suppose he's not.
Okay.
But he's from Shai.
Yeah.
So he's from some part of the Greater Accra region. And I appreciate how he's put where he's from in his name. If we could all do that. Yeah. Well, what will be your name?
Dogby Kwaku.
Where are you from?
Togbi Koku.
You're from Togbi Koku.
Yeah, Togbi Koku should tell you.
Is a name. I mean, your town.
Togbi Koku.
You're from Amejope.
Yeah, exactly.
I see. Where are you
from? Two places. How do you do that?
You're from two places.
How do you
so you combine it?
Shall all the places you're from are nice?
Mami Ose Adia you do.
Mami Ose Adia you do. Anyway, so congrats to Kweku Shai and congrats to APL, Team APL for a very fantastic season on TV3 Mentor. This season has been very nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's been very nice. And yesterday's performances.
APL.
Yeah, APL.
That's Mfojo.
I prefer Mfojo.
Afefa is the champion.
Alberta, Afefa Ufojo.
All the Premier League matches you're watching, Afefa. Ghana Music Awards, Afefa.
So congrats Team APL, Afefa Ufojo, and then the director, producer for TV3 Mentor, Paula Ashicho Mensandoku. Congratulations to you too.
Yeah.
And
there's a Kakra guy. He's I think
Kakra,
one of the that's not Mabel.
Okay. Kakra. Shouts to Kakra. Charlie, shouts to the entire team.
Indeed.
Team APL, your long nights and early mornings. And yesterday I saw a palanquin in the auditorium. Yeah, there was a palanquin. And I thought, oh, this is so nice. Very nice cultural display. Shouts to Kwame Eugene as well for a very nice performance yesterday. So we will bring the winner in studio soon so that we'll get to know him better on a personal level and the plans he has. And if for Ghana people who know this leaf, Nyanyura, it has a very strong cultural significance. Among other things, it makes you a winner. It makes you succeed. It brings you blessings.
Fantastic.
And so for people who know this, I mean, some people actually plug a piece of the Nyanyura and put in their clothes, put in their bag.
I've seen a number of taxi drivers hang it in their cars. And when you ask them, they will say it drives away evil spirit and brings you blessings.
It drives away evil too.
Yeah.
So that's our boss. That's our boss. The one and only Miss Banson.
Yes.
Akofa.
Is that the Greater Accra Regional Minister in there, Lindo Klu?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Wow.
It was an all-round 360 excellent experience yesterday. And you know when you watch it on TV, you don't get a vibe like when you're in the auditorium.
So you were there?
No, I felt that if I was enjoying it this much on TV,
then it could have been better.
I could only imagine the vibe in the auditorium. So I wanted to see the girls win, but it was just an undisputed win.
Yeah.
You know, I was vouching for the girls, but I've been watching Kweku Shai yesterday and knowing his story. You know, these talent shows.
The stories always make a difference.
I mean, they're all talented. But then when you know the story behind the performance, it moves you in a special way. So shouts to him. And you know, he had said that he didn't have a television at home growing up. In one of his interviews, he mentioned that TV. And today, he's won. And last week, when he came in studio, he said he would use part of the money to buy a television set.
Wow.
For his mother.
Isn't
that sweet?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Anyway, congrats to him. Congrats to him. Maybe we should just stay on him a little more. Can we watch another one of his performances during the competition?
this is just
Charlie.
glistering awesome.
God bless talent.
Yes.
Yeah.
God bless
Some people get talent.
Charlie,
Yeah.
if I could
Like
sing.
me, I've been trying to dance. It's a problem. Talent no day.
I think we should respect ourselves and not try something. Like you, for example. You shouldn't. You can
It's a
stay.
problem.
in
But
the
you know,
chair.
sometimes
If you're
tries,
lefty or southpaw, it's not good.
No, but are
Because
you?
all your send
You are not.
all your sends all they go left.
But are you?
You're
Yes,
not.
I am. I'm a
Do you write
southpaw.
with your left?
When
Yes.
did you
Really?
start?
Yeah.
But I've never seen you do that.
Since childhood.
Really?
Anyway. And then Beatrice also has an
we don't
interview,
believe you.
a strong
Yes, yes,
interview
yes,
as
yes,
well,
yes. An
with
exclusive.
the former Speaker of Parliament, Member of Parliament as well, and Professor Michael Quay, Reverend.
Yes.
Yeah. Political scientist, formerly lawyer.
Yes.
What has he been saying?
I mean, a lot of things. Of course, he talks about the primary coming up on the 31st of January. And, you know, ahead of that, months ahead of this, we had people complain that ideally the NPP should start from the grassroots elections. Why is it doing it? I mean, why is he taking the presidential one before the other elections? He defends it and says that it is legal and jabs or throws jabs at those who are criticizing the party, saying that you can't sit outside and tell them what to do.
Oh.
I agree with him.
Talks about Ken Ofori-Atta, talks about, he didn't want to really talk about his assessment of the government. And
okay.
you will get to hear exactly how
Why
he
he's
put it. And he has issues with Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, the lands minister on the lithium
What's his
deal.
issue? On the lithium deal.
On the lithium
Right.
deal.
So we'll get to watch all of it.
We get to watch all of that, and also gives a bit more on his decision regarding the Fomena seat.
see.
The one that was- so
interesting.
there's really a lot of stuff that he talks about, and really insightful.
Well, we look forward to it. How long is the interview?
1 hour.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So it means that by 9 o'clock we'll close. That's fantastic. So we're going to close big issues at 8:45, 8:30.
So we
Let me just
can
remove
watch
my
the whole-
spectacle.
Why are you so happy?
No. We need to give way to Professor Michael
Yeah,
Quay.
okay.
So 8:30 we're going to close big issues.
But what
And for
are we
big issues,
discussing? Yeah.
So you know the president has been speaking at the
about-
First Sky Thanksgiving
Yes.
service,
Yeah.
and he was all in the mood of being a man of God and reveling God, and said everybody had written Ghana off when he became president because of what had transpired from 2022 till the time the government was
In terms of the economy.
Exactly, and he said it was just a miracle because he had envisaged that 2 years will be the ultimate time when we will be able to stabilize. And through prudent economic management, etc., this is where we are. So we want to do a thorough assessment of that. But, you know, on the sidelines, I'm sure you've seen this. We had a group or personnel of the Ghana Police Service who, at Jakobu,
Yeah.
in the Amanse area of the Ashanti region, were pounced upon by residents and then also Galamseyers, and they had to defend their own lives and at the peril of their lives as well. And one person died. The Ashanti Regional Minister, Dr. Makohene, has written copiously about how investigations have commenced and will be concluded to look at the situation. That speaks volumes about the complicity of communities when it comes to Galamsey, the unwillingness of the communities because of the benefits they're getting
Yeah.
in resisting the state efforts
Yeah.
to be able to combat illegal mining. And it's a big problem.
You know,
there's a
second
whole
time-
economy around Galamsey.
Yeah, in just 2 weeks. Because last week we talked about NIMOS officials being
Yeah.
attacked and a community person killed, and one of the officials also getting injured. And then just a week after, we are seeing this from the angle of
Very
the police. So,
unfortunate.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. We've heard people say that we need to educate the youth to really get to... I think that last week, one of the things that came up was perhaps we should even show them the documentaries about the effect on babies and on our food crops and stuff.
But these babies are in their communities. It's not that they do not know.
Yeah. So
It's not that
I don't know
they
whether
don't
this
know.
goes
It really
beyond
needs to be
education.
tackled
Yeah.
from the top down.
Yeah.
Because going after the people in the pits, we've had this argument many times.
Yeah.
Doesn't solve the problem. Go after the kingpins.
Yeah.
Well, seeing him lying on the floor, on the ground there like that,
Yeah.
it's very, very heartbreaking.
Horrific.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's very, very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I don't know who was able to capture this
Yeah.
and how he was able
But
to
to pounce
stay.
on lawful authority
I mean, that's
or...
wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
That's wrong.
It's just... And when I saw this, it just, by way of recollection or reminiscing, reminded me of Major Mahama. And the videos were also there as well, the way he was killed brutally. And we're still paying for those sins after today. I think it's a reflection of who we are. There's an order, a policy directive that we need to combat this. The media is doing its part, other stakeholders. We know what the education is, the ramifications or the effects. But the communities and the people who are ordinary Ghanaians like all of us just don't want the right things to be done, you know.
Well, I'm sure you and your panel will get into it into more detail.
We have cash out as well.
Yeah.
Star 439#, you follow the prompt, pick your favorite platform, number 2 right here on TV3. Keep playing. We're giving 10,000 CDs, right? To 10 people.
To 10 people.
So the more you play, the higher.
We're giving 1,000 to 10 people, so we're giving 10,000.
Yes. So if you play more, you'll get at least 1,000 out of the 10,000 we're giving out today.
Amazing. So play and win big. And before we get into this morning, may I say a very special shout to my Gansel sister. It's your birthday today, Yasmin Baba. It's your birthday today. Have a fabulous birthday. This is from Benedicta Amma, especially going out to you. Yasmin Baba, it's your birthday today. Have a fabulous day. Now, let's get into our this morning conversation. We're talking about the big day at the end of this week. The 31st of January is the day for the NPP primaries. We've got 5 candidates. We've got 333 centers and over 211,000 voters, delegates going to decide who will lead the party in the 2028 general elections. It's now time for this morning.
So we talk about the MPP having its primary at the end of this week, but remember, we just told you about the unfortunate incident that happened within Amansia, where community members confronted police officials who were there to ensure that they deal with this menace of illegal mining. And unfortunately, one community member was shot dead. This is just coming a week after there was that same confrontation between the officials of NIMOS and community members in another area where a NIMOS official was shot in the thigh. Fortunately, he didn't die out of it. Unfortunately, a community member was also shot dead. And so it looks like people are resisting and mounting pressure against state officials who are getting into the communities to stop them from polluting our environment. So call in. The numbers will be displayed on your screen quite shortly. Share your thoughts with us, and really beyond education, like people call for, of the community members, what else we need to do to ensure we deal with this problem. But we do have our first caller joining us from Kintampo. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Please tell us your name and what's on your mind.
Fantastic. Good morning. Beautiful.
Is that Zachariah?
Yes, precisely, Roland.
Charlie, Master Planner Junior, Kintampo.
Fantastic.
Kintampo North.
Roland.
Communication Officer, MPP. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, everything is fine. Roland, how about you?
Chaladeo, Ade. You've seen the Galamsey video, the attack on the police and the defense they had to put up, and then also 5 days to your elections. What do you make of it? Just make it snappy.
Thank you. Let me say a special good morning to you and then all your cherished viewers. Roland, let me start with the MPP presidential elections. I think Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia so far, whether polls, whether prophecies, everything, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is leading. So I will urge all MPP delegates, 31st January 2026, 5 days to go. And you go just focus on the number 3. Whatever gift, whatever Lauren Fred will bring to you is a gift from the party. Take it and vote for Dr. Bawumia. And then my good brother, George Patton from Adenta. He's really doing a fantastic and marvelous work for Dr. Baumia. I call him the road master. He's really showing the youth the road.
Okay.
Roland, with regards to the Galamsey issue, I think this is not a political matter. We have to be passionate about this because how Galamsey is destroying our land. I always ask myself, 10 years to come, where are we going to be farming? The water bodies are being destroyed. How are our foods going to bear a proper food for us to enjoy? So we are begging the farmers who are selling their cocoa land, they are selling their cashew land to Galamseyers to be doing Galamsey. It's very, very worrying. They should desist from that. And then President Mahama, I know he can do this because he promised he's going to use AI to fight Galamsey. We are still waiting for the AI fight against Galamsey. God bless you. Thank you.
Master Planner Junior.
Thank you very much as well,
a proper communication officer.
I can tell you.
AI.
Thank you for calling in from Kintampo and sharing those thoughts with us. Yeah, so you can also call. The numbers are displayed on your screen. Well, I think we do have another call on the line.
Yes, we do. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling us from? Hello?
Oh,
yeah, I think we lost that caller there. Yes. We brought you some videos, air video, which was recorded, capturing the scene, the clash between the police and members of the community in Amansie. Unfortunately, one person is reported to have lost his life. We've heard from the regional minister who is calling on community members not to engage in acts of this nature. We've heard from security experts who say, do not engage the police, do not engage security agencies in this manner because they have been trained in a certain way, which might lead to them ensuring at all times that they are protected. And this is what happens when you engage the security agencies in this manner. Very, very unfortunate turn of events. We have Eric now joining us. Hello, Eric.
Yeah, hello, now. Good morning.
Yes, Eric. Thank you for calling us. You're welcome.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm happy to be on air. Yes, from the footage on air. And I could see the thief running and the policeman running after him before he fell dead. Why do you shoot somebody who was unarmed and was running away from you? You see, the police need proper training. You are armed, the person you are running after is not armed. You see, those who were armed were shooting. You didn't go after them. Somebody who is not armed and was running away from you, you should have person dead. I think a proper inquiry should be set on this matter and whoever is at fault should be brought to book. Thank you.
It appears that from the video, they were running away with firearms from the police. That's the impression we get from the video. However, the police have said they are reviewing the footage and they will give us a proper report in due time. So we wait to hear from them and then we'll know and appreciate properly exactly what happened in the video there. But we appreciate your call. Thank you for calling. You may also call us. The number is on the screen. We're talking about that shootout. And Roland, I think this call is for you. Alaji.
Alaji bini Yoruba shele. Yeah, that's about.
Nah, Roland.
Yeah, Tibia.
Tibia.
Gombian. Nah.
The shampoo municipal chief executive, Putuna Lassam, Bagaman. Now, how are you?
How are you?
I'm fine, Alaji. How are you too?
Business to and cookie tea. Number one, cookie tea. And Shamima Musa and his husband, Alaji Alasan, and Honorable Benataya for first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, and Chairman of Oso Ampofu, and Julius Debra, and the entire listeners. Is he Roland?
Yes, sir.
When you look at the MPP Salisbury election, I think it will be difficult for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to win the election. Even I see some polls favor Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. When you look at this election, and Bawumia, I think he will struggle to get even 50%. He will be struggle. So the contest will be between
Dr. Mahmoud Baume and Kennedy Akumpreko Adiapon MPP Financial. You see, when Baume going to talk and people will listen to Dr. Mahmoud Baume and people will throw their support for the Dr. Mahmoud Baume, but Saturday, I think Baume will cry. I will look at so. Even Brana Champo, he also pulls on both. Brana Champon, he convinced a lot of people for the Baume camp. Do you know that?
No, I don't know.
Junior, I think you should prepare for the crying. Because your candidate, I don't think your candidate can win.
Who's candidate?
All right, Alaji, local political analyst.
Dr. Plana supported Dr. Mahmoud Baume.
Okay.
So, Baume cannot win this election. Even if Baume win the election, we will be happy and they should leave me, Alaji Bini Yurubushele, and Baume can come and contest me. And NDC a flat better election because Baume cannot win anything in this country because
Alaji, Alaji.
Yeah.
Bini Yurubushele. You said what's the meaning of Bini Yurubushele?
But I told you the meaning where they like the goods.
Where they do what?
Where they left the goat.
Where they like the goods.
Where they like or left?
Like.
Where they like the goats. Alaji Bini Yurubushele. Thank you very much, Alaji Bini Yurubushele.
Okay, be Dr. Wumbe for me.
No, Kwabna has just joined us on the lines now. Hello, Kwabna.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kwabna. How are you today?
I'm doing very fine. Hope you're also doing the same.
Fantastic. Welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
Thank you. We must not take this illegal mining issue lightly. I got opportunity speaking with a health professional, a senior health professional. And what he said is very alarming. He told me if we don't take care, in a few years to come, the kind of organ failure diseases we may be experiencing in this country will be unbearable. So we should not take it as normal thing, Ghana. No. You see, these illegal miners are, I don't know whether they are possessed or whatnot. The way they behave with impunity must stop. Look, watch the video very well. You realize one of them was holding some stick, wanted to beat the police officer with it. What kind of impunity is that? Something needs to be done, you know. Something really needs to be done. Something that drastic action needs to be taken. You see, your wife said something some time back that they should be shoot and kill. People didn't understand him then, though. I did, because I know how these illegal miners behave. It's about life. It's about livelihood. So whatever they have to do to survive, they will do it. And mind you, most of these people are not Ghanaians. Recently, 22 Togolese were arrested in the northern region about a week ago. So a few weeks back, about 36 people were arrested at Usino in the eastern region. Out of the 36, 32 of them were Nigerian, not Ghanaians, not Niger. Out of the 36, only 4 were Ghanaians. 32 were not Ghanaians. And we are sitting here behaving as if nothing is happening. We must be very, very careful and deal with these people as criminals. That is all. Thank you.
Wow.
Interesting points there. Thank you. Thank you so much for calling. We're going to turn our attention to Zoom now.
Yes, we do have on the line with us Mr. Richard Kumado, who is a fraud and security consultant. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
And thank you to Naya.
We're having to report another death, unfortunately. Last week, we talked about the Naimos encounter, one person dying, and then today we're hearing of this. Let me get your interpretation, first of all, of what's happening just within the space of 2 weeks or actually 1 week.
No, if you extend it to the broader conversation of inappropriate mining or illegal mining, then the discussion is different. But if you associate it with a police patrol, where they engage a lot of young people who believe that a pump action gun is taken from a 15-year-old or a 30-year-old or a little boy. And so to that extent, they have the bravado to engage the police. Then there are two different things. In the case of 9 months, it is a known fact that the environment is becoming a bit hostile for them. And as suggested, that when it comes to incident reporting strategy, they need to tailor it in a way that it helps them to survive in some of the high-risk environments they will find themselves. Then we also said that broadly, whether the police decide to get involved or the additional soldiers coming will work under the command of NIMO's boss, they will need a resource deployment plan that ensures that they have the right equipment to get to the right places, well prepared at the right time. Then we also said that to the extent that the hostility they face cut across the whole country or within the operational zones, they will need to take personal security and safety compliance issues very seriously. And so that is where we left off with the NIMOS. With this particular one, they were engaged by a rowdy youth that one of them had a bravado of taking the gun from the police officer. At the point when the police gave the warning shot, unfortunately, they couldn't interpret it to say that the police was willing to retrieve their gun and they are willing to fire their guns. And to that extent, in an attempt to retrieve the gun, a gunshot was fired and one of the young men, we understand, is dead and the other one is injured. I have always insisted that one, non-punishable of offenses will always rationalize bad behavior and promote antisocial tendencies in society. Today, this is one of them. Secondly, I have also advocated that do not attack law enforcement officers in line of duty. If you think law enforcement officers are doing something wrong, you have the power and ability to report them to the local authority or the national authority. But if you engage them and it happens that you have interfered, they are likely to respond, and some of those responses may end up with high levels of discomfort for the victims. And yesterday or 2 days ago, what happened where the police was is one of those discomforts we want to talk about.
It seems obvious that the police will have to brace themselves for a lot more violent clashes, as it were, from these communities. From where you sit, what should be the approach?
Because the police deals predominantly, or they are the first responders when it comes to law enforcement and crime prevention, if we look into illegal mining or inappropriate mining, then whatever excesses will come from the NIMOS operations will affect the police directly. One of the things they need to do is to realign their operational strategies. Number two is to do the prone-based, activity-based risk assessment, which has been done already anyway. They will need to visit that document. That is to say that when you live within the 4 major regions where there's aggressive activities of Galamsey, and there has been a hostile attitude of Galamseyers towards NIMOS, then your attitude as a police officer and your preparedness in terms of equipment and capacity should be different from those who live within the serene environment where the aggressiveness is not as much. And to that extent, from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, my understanding is that at the highest level of police management, some discussions are being had, and I believe certain things will be done for the police officers so that they may have the capacity and the luxury or the flexibility to deal with the excessiveness of the threat that comes against them.
There are those who have said that, looking at the threats that all of us face, the officials who go on site, anytime they face resistance, they should shoot and kill. But we're also mindful of the respect of human rights. How should they approach this again in such a way that their actions will serve as a deterrent to the community members without necessarily abusing human rights?
No, I think when it comes to the police in particular, somebody is trying to change the narrative and somebody is trying to insert into that narrative the term shoot to kill. No, when you attack law enforcement officers and they are in line of duty, you might be asking for more trouble. And if your backbone is not strong, you might come under some level of discomfort. Let us not promote that negative attitude that you can attack law enforcement officers in line of duty, and when they defend themselves or they try to bring calm, then we are attributing it to the shoot and kill. The young boy who disarmed the police, if you listen to the commentary behind, the guy running the commentary was actually attacking government. It was attacking the police people, that they are lousy people. Why would they want them to do this ABCD? The police are trained, or law enforcement officers in general are trained to escape, how to escape entrapment or entanglement. We are also trained to fight to live and to fight unto death. In that particular situation, if you look at the numbers that came against the police officers, we don't know whether they were holding any other, forms of weapons against the police. But if it is an engagement against the police with those numbers, then the police have two options: either to fight to escape or to fight unto death. And one way of doing it is to use their weapon, particularly when they have their weapons at their disposal. When you take the argument onto 9 months, then you will understand why the likes of the Forest Commission officers are saying that give us AK-50, give us AK-48, give us helmet, so that we go out there and fight the inappropriate manners. That is a whole discussion on its own for another day. But when it comes to law enforcement, first responders, police officers, they are your friends, and do not attack the police officers. Even when you think they have done something wrong, do not attack them. Report them to the appropriate authorities, and the issues will be looked at. They will be addressed as appropriately as possible. But once you attack them in line of action, you might be asking for some level of trouble that you might not be able to handle it. And Beatrice, have we not equate our country to many of the developed countries in the world? Today, our country is also a developed country. We will need to have a public education, which is effective. We will need to create awareness, which is effective. And NCC and the media houses must lead the way. The relationship between law enforcement officers and the general public, if we can understand it from that level, that the police is your friend and you do not need to attack the police officer, I think it would be a better place for all of us in terms of safety and in terms of crime prevention and in terms of security.
Our last caller before you came on gave some interesting data to us. 32 or 36 individuals who were arrested, and only 4 of them were Ghanaians. And then he mentioned another area as well, kind of giving or painting the picture that a number of foreigners are also involved in this as well. What information have you picked on this, and how would you expect agencies involved in this fight to look at this?
And last year, around September, October, when we ran across the 4 predominant regions where Galamsey is very active and Bristol, it is true that you have large numbers of foreigners involved, and they come with different types of techniques, and their capacity in terms of protective environment is high. And it's also one of the things NIMOS faces on the field. We might want to encourage NIMOS. We might want to give them the right resources. I am happy, according to sources, they are building the infrastructure for the deployment of NIMOS officers to strategic locations to protect our water bodies, particularly in the forest reserve that has been declared as a high-risk zone. If NIMOS get to the field, they will definitely need the police to come along because some of these people are foreigners. But then it has to go with policy. It has to go with administrative policy, and it has to go with what our legal regime is willing to come with. If prosecutions are not done in that line, you are going to have a lot more people coming in here, and those guys will be willing to take on the NIMOS officers. If the justice system can come alongside, and national policy can also come along that side, it will boost the morale of the frontliners, and will also ensure that when cases get to court, they are tried expeditiously. Other than that, you are going to have a long way to go, and we have a catch-up to do.
We have a catch-up to do. Thank you so much, Mr. Kumado, for sharing your thoughts with us. Richard Kumado there, he's a fraud and security consultant.
And he's always repeated this point, that do not attack security agencies, officials of the security agencies in their line of duty, because there's no telling the outcome of that situation, because they would defend themselves. And mind you, they are trained officials with arms. And so if you feel that they're doing something wrong, get away from there. And, you know, rely on local or national law enforcement, report them, but do not attack. This young man is dead now. his lifeless body on the ground. Every time I see it, just breaks my heart,
Yeah.
you know. Just like that. This was a preventable death, avoidable death. It was not, this should not have happened. And you know, somebody was commenting that, imagine if we had not seen this video.
Yeah.
The commentary and how we would lambast the police for this that has happened. And then this video also shows us a totally different side of the whole situation. And I look forward to that report from the police after the analysis of this video, even though there's also commentary about the police investigating itself and whether or not we are sure we are going to get an objective report from them. It's a conversation for another day, but I look forward to seeing it. We all look forward to seeing it.
I think it goes to add a lot more to what Mr. Kumado was saying about the education of people. Do not think that even if you are a lot in your community, you can still fight the law enforcement agencies that are in your community and win. There would be casualties at the end of the day. So just respect what they're doing, and like Mr. Kumado said, if you have issues, you know where to go
and report. Yeah. Because attacking the police would always come with an undesired result. Always.
Yeah.
It doesn't end well. It doesn't end well. Anyway, let's read some of your messages coming in. Stephen Peng has sent a message from Wa. He says, Papa Ro, Nabi trees, the stubborn galamseyers must come to a realization that the fight against the menace is existential and the activities must stop in the interest of our country, Ghana. Aziz Donla from Wa says, it's unfortunate and ridiculous to attack state security apparatus in a fight against illegal mining. However, we successfully completed the naming ceremony of our baby boy yesterday, Shafiq. We have a new baby, Shafiq. Kindly send my sincere gratitude to everyone who attended, especially the Wa Mayor, Honorable Dan Wana, Chairman Baz, and Chairman of the NDC in Wa Central. Well, congratulations to you. Aziz Donla has a new baby.
You know, last week, I was saying that when Cookie was saying when they call you and they tell you they love you, they like you, I mean, don't believe them, because this one, the wife just gave birth, so they are busy.
Yeah, they're busy. Prince Henry from Koforidua says, on the NPP, the best candidates will not win. On the NPP, the best candidates will not win, and the worst candidates will win and lose power in 2028 for all. Presenting Dr. Baumia in 2028 is like, okay, let's
be decent.
Yeah, in our commentary,
and decorous,
especially early in the morning like this. Okay, so we can read your messages on air.
Yes, there's Prince Henry Koforidia. He says, good morning.
It's the same message I just
read.
read.
You just read that. Okay.
That's the message I could not read to the end. You see the description of the presidential candidates at the end of the message. All right. Okay, this is a special LPM, special announcement to you if you're looking to go to the university. This is Beatrice's favorite LPM. There's a world-class university right here in Ghana, Rosebank International University, a strong South African university and a brand of the AdTech Group, Africa's largest private education provider, with 146 schools across 5 African countries and over 100,000 learners, partly owned by the World Bank through the IFC. Rosebank International University is fully accredited by the South African Qualifications Authority and the British Accreditation Council, GTEC in Ghana, City Guilds in the UK, and Capsicum Culinary Studio. At Rosebank International University, we offer a Doctor of Business Administration, DBA, MBA of Science and Philosophy in Digital Marketing, Bachelor of Supply Chain Management, targeting professionals in freight forwarding, customs, etc. We offer hospitality and culinary arts available at diploma, undergraduate, and postgraduate levels. Our ICT has BSc Information Technology in Business Systems and IT Computer Application Development, all carefully designed to equip you with the skills and qualifications needed for a successful global career. Our mission is simple: inspiring excellence. Admissions are now open for January 2026. Visit our modern campus at Airport Commercial or Pebia, or apply online at www.riuc.edu.gh. Rosebank International, building global citizens, all right? And that's from Rosebank to you. And now if you're looking for a quick snack to munch on during the day, we've got Nutri-Snacks granola bars. Nutri-Snacks granola bars. Now, these granola bars are rich with all the necessary nutrients that you need in a snack. It's made with honey, it's got nuts, and it's got oats, specially made for you. It's great for children, it's great for adults, and you can have it with yogurt or a cup of tea or hot chocolate at any time of the day. So grab your Nutri-Snacks granola bar today and enjoy the crunchy goodness that it provides. All right, we're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll go straight to big issues with Roland Walker and the team.
Well, again, thank you for joining us. We have cash out. It goes with Shoko *439#. As many times as you can, become one of those lucky winners. Choose option 2. Increase the number of tickets you have. You become lucky as you go on. And always important for all of us to be part of this. All right. *439#. Well, a number of individuals also have been giving us messages. I see all of you on the stream. We're here to talk about two important issues here. But before then, let me say a happy birthday to you, Lawyer Asumedu. You are with Amamfo Chambers, based in Tema, and it's coming from Lawyer Osei. He says, you've been a great man. You chalked 70 years on this earth, and so happy birthday to you, Lawyer Asumedu of Amamfo Chambers, Tema, from Lawyer Osei. Well, as you do that, please share the stream. Let's have some great conversations thereof. We told you that we'll be having some two discussions. At the Thanksgiving of FESCAI, one of the foremost as well as biggest group of companies involved in construction, as well as insurance, financing, among many other derivatives or sectors. The President of the Republic did say that, well, even him, he had envisaged that the turnaround of the economy would be within a 24-month period. That would be 2 years. And subsequently, the turnaround we've witnessed, even before the first year would end for his administration, well, was not only a surprise, but also mainly due to the prudent fiscal policy that had been introduced and making Ghana a poster boy of the Bretton Woods institutions, but more so of the international community. We're here to do that analysis, and then we'll also take a look at the policemen who were nearly brutalized, but subsequently, as they were warding off some individuals, galamsey, so to speak, in Jakobu in the Ashanti region, one person being found dead, for which the Ghana Police Service is instituting an investigation, and assurances already being given by the Ashanti Regional Minister and then also the Lands Minister, that those investigations will be very thorough. I have here the CEO for the National Petroleum Authority, Lawyer Dujita Maglo. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Roland. Good morning to my two co-panelists, and good morning to your cherished viewers.
Lawyer Pierre Dankwa is also here. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Roland.
Of the United Party.
To Eduji and to Prof here, and good morning to your lovely viewers.
The main rivals of the United Party, the MPP, have 5 days to elect their presidential candidate, and we're also monitoring that keenly. And we'll see how the elections go as your election command center. And then I have Dr. Tutu Boying. Dr. Tutu Boying, thank you for joining us.
Yes, good morning. Good morning to my two lawyers, and good morning to our viewers.
Okay. We have an interaction with the former Speaker of Parliament, Beatrice Edu, sat down with Professor Michael Quay, Reverend Professor Michael Quay, the former Speaker of Parliament, former Member of Parliament as well, and then political scientist and lecturer, and asked him a number of questions, not only on the MPP, but also an area of subjects of our country. And so we'll be bringing that to you from 9 o'clock. So make sure it's sticking. So we'll be closing this quite early. And so 8:30 will be our closing time. Please, let's hear from the President of the Republic of Ghana. All right. Okay, so Eduji, in the... Okay.
Office. The crisis that faced us was very difficult. In my own imagination, I thought that we'll need about 2 years to begin to see a turnaround. That's what I thought. But Ebenezer, this is how far God has brought us. We're all surprised and shocked at the quick turnaround. Anytime I meet the IMF officials and the World Bank officials, they themselves cannot believe, what has happened in Ghana. So Ghana has now become the poster boy, of the IMF and the World Bank. So when they go to other African countries, they say, don't you see Ghana? Look at what Ghana has done. And that's why I say, it is only the grace of God. I mean, to bring inflation from 23.8% to 5.4% in 1 year. I mean, how did we manage that? For the first time to see our long-suffering Ghanaian currency, the cedi, that has been taking a beating over the years. Dollars have been arrested, they've broken jail, and all that. For the first time, to see the Ghanaian cedi appreciate by 37% in 1 year, it's only God. The IMF gave us a primary balance of 1.5%. And 2025, our primary balance is 2%, higher than the IMF gave. And so, God has been good to us. And as a nation, we must be grateful to him.
Well, so it's very important. And so we're also taking a look at the Galamsey issue. And so we'll take a look at it as well. Dr. Kwekubuanya Joanna, good morning. How are you? Yeah. And I know that the Ken camp is on the campaign, so to speak. But Eduje, the president's own analysis of what do you make of it?
Okay, so Roland, once again, good morning, and good morning to my brother. Thankfully, on Saturday, his candidate Ken will be losing. Bamia will win, so that it will be quite a good one in 2028.
Oh, really?
Yes.
They are very short. You didn't...
No. I mean, they themselves, in their heart of hearts,
Evans Drea did the research.
They appreciate.
And the finding is indicating that
this young.
Is today your birthday?
Yes.
Yes, happy birthday to you.
Oh, then happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Today also.
Sorry for the wrong baptism.
Happens to be the birthday of a young friend of mine, Abdul. Today happens to be his birthday. He's from Garu. A very, very popular young man. Today happens to be his birthday, and may Allah be with him.
Yeah. Jane Few of China House is also celebrating their birthday, and Mrs. Charity Jane Few.
May the good Lord be with them. That said, I think that there is a part of the video by His Excellency that you didn't play. At the end of the day, he said, "All glory be to God." All glory be to God for what has happened. As human...
You mean God did it?
As human, we would say it has been a very good 1 year. But the president in his speech at the tail end acknowledged that all of this has become possible with the intervention of God Almighty. And that for me is very profound. Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah once said, "Nothing great has ever been done without the support of the Almighty God." And so the work that has been done in 1 year, with all the innovation, the human ingenuity and everything, we bless God for it. That said, when the president say that within the 1 year, right, we've had a situation where the turnaround has exceeded expectation, it is grounded in data. It is well grounded in data. The data speaks to the fact that today, the numbers, and not only the numbers, not only the fact that the numbers are looking good, but they are translating in real life conditions. Inflation in 2022 was 54%. At the time when inflation was 54%, there were only 2 countries south of the Sahara that we were worse than, Zimbabwe and South Sudan. That is how Ghana sank so low. Not only that, all the international rating agencies put Ghana in junk status, Bola, under the watch of the man the MPP will be electing on Saturday, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Look, Roland, Fish actually projected that by close of 2025, the Ghana cedi will be exchanging 15 cedis to $1. Fish, almighty Fish. So we have done so well that we're able to beat the projection that Fish had put out. Because Fish wanted us to finish the year at 15 Ghana cedis to $1. We ended the year at 10.5 Ghana cedi to $1. That for me is significant. Look at our debt to GDP ratio. Today, significant cuts. It makes the country today looks more solvent. It didn't end there. Our reserve grew to an unprecedented $13 billion. Almost 5 months of import cover. That is the kind of work that men have done within the space of 1 year. So when His Excellency the President say that this is what we have done and it exceeds the expectation of the people we deal with, these are the numbers. But somebody will ask, has this turnaround translated into better living conditions of our people? Clearly, yes. And I'll demonstrate that shortly. If you recall, even with inflationary trends coming to 5.3, single digit, what it means is that the rate of increase of prices has slowed. And that is very significant. Because you see, he is a lecturer and he will tell you, when inflation goes up, inflation, colloquially you say, is the thief of our money. Yes, it steals your money quietly because an item that would cost you 2 cedis, because of inflationary trends, you're going to buy it for 5 cedis. So your disposable income, you would have lost 3 cedis on it simply because of inflation. And so by inflation coming down, the rate of increase of prices of commodities and prices have rather come down, and that is translating in better living conditions. 2, and I'll do this analysis, Roland. On the 4th of December, okay, 2024, and I say this, a liter of petroleum product, let me say petrol, was trading for 15.3 Ghana cedis per liter. 15.3 Ghana cedi per liter. That's December 4th, 2024. 3 days or so to the election. Today, the same liter is trading in some places, discounted price, 9.98. 9.99, below 10. And Roland, what it means is that for every liter that you buy of petrol, you are making a savings of almost 4 cedis on it. That is savings into your pocket.
But Eduji, the minority, especially in Parliament, have raised issues about how this is not trickling into the pocket of ordinary people in terms of reduction in food prices. And
let me give you an example. So, say I'll use one example. So in November last year, petroleum product consumption, petrol diesel, if you put together, was almost in the region of 540 million liters. So you do even 3 cedi savings on that nationally, and see how much consumers have saved and retained in their pockets, Roland. That is very significant. And you know, the cascading impact of petrol prices. When we were growing up, finance ministers were the ones announcing petrol prices. I remember those days in my holy city of Nkwanta. Our parents would be by GBC2. My dad used to like the Ewe one. And we'll be waiting for the finance minister at that time to announce the price of petrol. No, I think Kwame Pepra also. No, it started before him, but then when Mr. Richard, Honorable Richard Kwame Pepra took over, he repeated it. It was the finance minister that announced petrol prices. All the country will be waiting to hear what the price will be. Because of its impact on transportation. And once transportation is impacted, food prices will be impacted as well, and all other general goods and services. Currently today on social media, you will see our fellow countrymen and women, LPG for instance, the conversation around it and the savings they are making. And so these macroeconomic numbers are translating in living conditions. Roland, if you have a kid abroad, schooling, and you needed to move money, you are buying the dollar cheaper today, you are buying the pound sterling cheaper today than you have ever done. And so the impact is translating, and particularly the middle class are so excited with what is happening today. And Roland, let me make this point. This is a government that within the space of 1 year took away betting tax. You know that?
Yeah, it was announced and subsequently
took away the obnoxious e-levy. You know that? Took away the dreaded COVID-19 levy because people felt that COVID, by by close of 2022, COVID was no longer an issue for the economy. But we retained the COVID-19 levy. It has to take President John Dramani Mahama. And by the removal of the COVID-19 levy, almost 3.6 billion Ghana cedis is what consumers will retain in their pocket if they were paying that tax. And so overall, the management of the Ghanaian economy has so far translated in better conditions for our people. And let me say that in doing this, President Mahama has relied on very competent people to do this execution. The Honorable Ato Forsen, the Governor of Bank of Ghana, what my brother Sami Jemfi is doing at the Gold Board. In a year, forest repatriation to the country amounted to $10 billion. We've never gotten that in a year before. The whole idea of setting up Gold Board was a game changer. It was something that was lost on the people who unfortunately mismanaged our economy for 8 years. We should never get to that point again, where we'll put a group of men, economic mismanagement team, whose only work is to run the economy aground. I am surprised that these same men believe that they can rehabilitate themselves, rebrand themselves, and come back to our people with some highfalutin voodoo economic analysis on how well to manage an economy. And some say they have rich ideas that translated 54% inflation, rich ideas that took the exchange rate at a point to 17 Ghana cedis to $1.
Please wrap up for me.
Yes, I'm wrapping up. Rich ideas, that's the point. Our debt to GDP ratio was 106%. Rich ideas that brought Ghana into a junk status. So much for those rich ideas. So I have no doubt at all that the good people of this country reflect and conclude that elections do have consequences. Elections, in fact, do so. And that is why I say that, look, today, if you look, our friends in the MPP no longer talk about they would cancel free SHS. Do you know why, Roland? Do you know why? Why today you hardly hear any MPP communicator say free SHS have been cancelled? Because President Mahama is paying. I am very confident that this man, who is a very honest broker, would applaud the managers of the economy.
He's one of the main supporters of...
Connected.
Yes, Kennedy Japan.
But he is quite honest. You applaud the managers.
What do you make of this? You know the MPP is also choosing a leader to lead them into the presidential race, particularly for 2028, and it also means that all these have come up. We had a whole event that was organized, Dennis Miracle Abuaje leading that, criticizing the bread and butter issues as a result of they feel the ineptitude, they claim, of the John Mahama government, but the numbers in themselves and then also the testimonies by some others within the environment, the publics just also say otherwise. What do you say to the president's own comments in the first place?
Yes, so, once again, let me wish your lovely viewers a good morning and say happy birthday to my junior brother here. God bless you and shine his face on you. I think it is proper that I commend the president. I commend the president. I commend his team for a great work done. Going to the last election, if anybody had told me that within a space of just 1 year would have this macroeconomic stability, I would have said that listen, I'm not interested in this city war business, because where we were, as in the extent to which confidence had been lost in the Ghanaian economy. And the evidence is not just in the junk status, as in how we were rated, but the impact of the DDEP, the fact that monies have been taken from the pocket of Ghanaians. To think that within just a year, there'll be so much confidence in this economy, as in is incredible, and the numbers don't lie. Now, you have a situation where they've managed to bring inflation to 5.5. I don't recall ever in the history of this country where inflation was 5.5, and I stand to be corrected, but I don't recall any time. I recall that during President Mill's time, where we had single-digit inflation, I think it was a big deal, but I don't think even Professor Mills managed to get inflation to 5.5. In my life, I also don't ever recall, and I stand to be corrected once again, a time where the city has actually appreciated against the dollar. And it's not a marginal appreciation, it's a significant appreciation. I don't recall that. And to think that city went all the way to 17 at some point, 17.5. Right now it's hovering around 10 point something, 11 point something. Fuel. We shouldn't forget, and when my brother Edwidi was recalling I think he forgot about the fuel. At the point, a liter of fuel was about 23 cedis at the point. And so, and in fact, all of us, when we did our communication, thought that whoever became president in 2025, 7th January, was going to have an almost impossible task on their hands. And to think that in less than 12 months, the president and his team have managed to bring the economy to a situation where there is a radical stability. I think it required that to be.
What about the criticism that comes?
We applaud him. So that's the first point. Now I find it. I'm not surprised. You see, I find it very shocking, but it's shocking that the MPP would find a way of attempting to discredit His Excellency the President and his team. Personally, I'm not surprised. Well, I think I've said here on your show that I do not think that the MPP is a party that does, or this current MPP, to be fair to them, does politics with the interests of the country at heart. For them, politics is just a means to push their parochial agenda. Because why else will a party or a government that managed the economy to a state where all credibility was lost can say that the reason why the economy is rebounding, the reason why we are seeing this unprecedented stability, reversal of the economy, is because of their ideas? It was because you've heard them say that the reason why.
Are you saying they shouldn't take credit for it?
Oh, for what? Because.
Well, that's what they say. They say they have to be given credit. That the foundations were.
What foundations? Because you see, now they make an argument that in the first year of every tenor, of every change, the economy naturally stabilizes. Now in 2017, when they came to power, the city was about 3.9, not so. By the end of 2017, the city was 4.4. 2028, it went to about 4.8. So the city was still depreciating, not so. Not so. In 2025, the city didn't marginally depreciate. It actually appreciated significantly. You get a picture. Now, they went to an IMF program. Ghana went to an IMF program, so we saw them manage the economy even under an IMF program. And for 2 or 3 years, when they managed the economy under the IMF program, we didn't see this level of rebound. Did we? Went to IMF in 2022, not so. And within that period, the city was still depreciating sharply. Within that period, inflation was skyrocketing, not so. Yes, you get a picture. And indeed, in 2017, when they had what they call stability, they took very shocking fiscal decisions. Because when you define every economy, the role government plays is in terms of its fiscal and monetary policy. We've seen the giant strides we've made because of the positive fiscal and monetary policy of this NDC government. Yeah. So we've all seen, as in and to think that they've done all this without us having to resort to borrowing. When Leonardo and his brother Ken were in charge of the economy, how did they manage it? Almost every year, we go out and borrow 3 billion. To what end? When they had a chance to build on their stability, what did they do? They decided to spend just 400 million Ghana cedis, just 400 million Ghana cedis on a policy that was meant to be their most transformational policy, the one they wanted. And 5 billion on NAPCO.
So what's your point with this?
My point is, government under Leonardo criminally managed or used its fiscal policy in a manner that failed, or that failed to build on the stability that the IMF program they came to inherit had granted us. They failed to do that. Because how can you justify spending 400 million Ghana cedis on a program that's meant to be transformational? And 2, when they came to inherit an economy where the previous government, His Excellency John Mahama, through the ESLA, had created a situation where government could raise monies to deal with the energy sector program. What did they do with that?
Do you know that so far ESLA has given us 45 billion Ghana cedis from 2015?
Yeah, and so what did they do with it?
Massive.
Well, it was partly securitized.
For what?
To what end?
What can you identify?
To what end? And when they were leaving the power, that problem. Because among the things government does to bring about this stability is how you manage your debts. So for me, honestly, I don't want to dwell too much on the MPP now, because I'm so convinced that the MPP is a party, as a political party, do not do their politics with the interests of Ghana at heart. And that's why I'm saying that they are not capable of choosing a candidate that can take the country forward. Let's concentrate on what His Excellency Mama is doing now. For me to end, I think we can't do the mistake. As in, he's done very well in terms of bringing about a radical stability. But you see, once you've done the stability, then we must grow.
Consolidation.
Now, if I even grow, not just grow, you understand? Now, when you read their budget, I think there's a lot was made, was said about the palm business. You understand? A lot was said about the 24-hour economy. Well, I did not hear a lot about SME, but I think it's something that the government can also look at deliberately building SMEs. The point is, government now needs to, whilst still stabilize the economy, also take...
Maybe just to add, the Minister for Trade, lawyer, the Honorable MP for Tichima North, Honorable Elizabeth Opose-Jare, addressed the press last week, Wednesday. He outlined government's deliberate policy for small and medium-scale industries. Because we believe that they are a strong anchor.
Yeah, because that's how you deal with jobs. You deal with jobs by building your SME. So I think I trust, based on what I've seen over the past 12 months, that government can or will use its fiscal policy to strengthen and build local industry, because that's the only way in which we can sustain the progress we are making in terms of the economy.
Okay. Tutu Boyne, as part of the consolidation and the appreciation of the CDS, the effort that has been made by Gold Board, etc., and you know that in deploying the strategies, it also means that we have to be mindful of the type of strategies and how we are able to deal with illegal mining, because it's a key component to ensure that we have the sustainability we need in the economy. Just how do we do the sustainability knowing that, well, just having these videos of the attack nearly on the police personnel and the losses, etc., just to have a combo?
All right, so
for your submission.
Before I start, let me say good morning to my people at University of Education, Winneba, my department, and the entire UTAG membership.
What's your department?
Department of Marketing and Entrepreneurship.
Okay, Marketing and Entrepreneurship.
Yeah. And then all UTAG members of University of Education, Winneba. And then my president, Usu Achiao, my VC, Professor Mutual, and my pro-VC, Professor Esther Dansu Redu. Obviously, it's important that, we are able to integrate, the economic gains that we are getting or deriving from the sale of gold, which obviously, when you read the literature, you would understand that it has become one of the key drivers of our economy today. And the means with which we are getting gold and probably increasing our gold reserves and all that. We have seen, from reports that most of the gold that we are getting is coming from the small sectors, including, these galamsees and all that. But we have also known that, the operations of these galamsees is not helping us as a country. It's not helping us to protect our environment and, especially with our water bodies. And we are fast losing, some cocoa lands, to galamsey. And I was just checking Ghana's cocoa production, in terms of dollar value and its projection for the 2025-2026 is around $4 billion. All right, that is if it stays within the current value, but if it appreciates, it means that we are going to get something more than the 4 billion. And actually, gold is giving us huge sums of money, right? Even today, I hear that gold at the world market price has gone above $5,000. And so that is huge.
A kilo is now 160.
That is very huge.
160,000.
Yeah, about $162,000. Yeah. Now, what it means is that we should be in the position to integrate, the production of gold and the production of cocoa, all right, so that our economy would stand, and probably we get more value to improve our economy. But if it gets to that point where probably we are, putting so much emphasis on gold and then leaving, cocoa and other resources, if you are not careful, we'll be in trouble, because I think that this is the first time that the metals is gaining so much traction. Previously, our economy has always been sustained on cocoa, all right? And so what it means is that in as much as we are giving priority to gold production, we must also give some priority to
our cocoa and other sources of national income. Now, I want to believe that, you see, this fight against galamsey, since school reopened, I've seen some improvements, in the quality of water. That is
in the ones that you have monitored?
Yes.
Which waters are those?
That is, I'm talking about what we get from Winneba. Okay. I think the dam is somewhere around Swedrup. All right. Now, some months passed before Christmas. I mean, it was nothing good to write home about. But since school reopened, I think about 2 weeks ago, I've seen some improvement, even though I must admit that the quality that I expect, we have still not gotten to that point. That tells you that there are some people, some bad nuts somewhere who are still engaged in it. But I must commend NIMOS, and the president for the fight that they have put up. But we also want to see that, I'm not against these operations of whereby we are getting good, all right? But I am against mining in river bodies. I am against mining in forest reserves, all right? Because it affects not just human life, but animals and plants and everything. And remember that there is something that we say that the moment the last tree dies, the last man on earth will equally die. And our very life is about, we depend on each other, all right? And so we need to protect other lives as well as protecting human life. The ecosystem should be protected, all right? Now, what it means is that we need to move into a kind of a situation whereby, we could put up measures, strategies, not just about growing our forest, but again, about ensuring that our forests are protected, because if I get one of the NIMOS reports right, what they were saying is that the moment they carry out an operation and then leave, other groups will just go back again to do whatever they want to do. So it's a whole operation that we need to do to ensure that, yes, some of these people, and again, in as much as some people would put up certain bad behavior and then would want to say that we are not going, all right. I think that those who are willing, to leave, that operation, and then probably may want to see some lives, decent lives, okay, we could equally mobilize such people, as a country, train them, resource them, and then push them into certain areas of the economy, which can equally give them that kind of decent lives. When you look at certain areas with which Ghana's economy is developing into, these skill set programs, when we train guys, the security doors, all right. Now Ghanaians are also creating some, the ones from China.
We're fabricating.
They are fabricating, right. And when we see some of the works in Ghana from Ghanaians, you marvel, all right. Now what it means is that when we train these people and then we add some level of technology, creativity into it, I mean, we would equally one day be exporting some of these things. And we have also seen that, look, even skilled jobs fetch more than, white-collar jobs, all right. And so if we can, as it were, invite some of these galamseyers, I mean, the young people who are dependent on the galamsey entrepreneurs, and then draw them and then make a provision for them to the extent that they could learn one or two trades and stabilize their lives. I think that would be better. So I am of the opinion that a whole lot, this issue about cottage industry, could also be extended, because most of these young guys are residents in the villages, all right? And when they know that we don't have any good job and Galamsey is there, they will go. Okay. But when they know that I can train myself, government is coming up with this social intervention that I can train myself, and then one day become somebody, within my community, those people will be willing to do that. So I think that there should be that invitation from government, district assemblies, the regional, secretariat and all that. Bring these guys together, register them, take them through certain projects. I think that there's a program. Is it the Jumera program? Yes. And we had University of Education Winneba was giving, some people to train, in recent times. And we've done that. I think we did a 6 weeks, training program of which I was part. And it was so good that when we interact with these people, with that renewed knowledge, renewed understanding, they believe that going back there, they can do more than what they are currently doing. Why? Because they have been given some exposure, they've been given some level of knowledge with which they can now produce and market their products successfully. Okay. So that partnership between the ministries, the various ministries, and tertiary, education, could also help us, to deal with some of these galamsey issues and all that.
All right. I have ACP Sefa Satham is the Ashanti South Regional Police Commander. Now, the attack on the police and subsequently when they were warding off those intruders leading to the death of that one person, how far are we with the investigations, or you, the police, are?
Good morning, Roland, and I say good morning to your panelists. Let me correct something small. I'm the Deputy Ashanti South Regional Police Commander.
All right, my apologies, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Investigation is ongoing, and we are still on it. At the moment, we don't have anything yet to put in public domain. We are still working on it. What we have got so far, we need to guard against it to enable us unravel the mystery around the entire incident. So kindly permit us for now to hold on to what we have at the moment.
All right.
So that appropriate time will come to you and the general public. Okay.
Now, just as a routine, what's the level of the deployment you do as part of your routines to combat illegal mining, so to speak, in those areas?
It's the general police operational activities that we do.
Okay.
Early in the morning, we have our own duty rosters and our strategies, the various strategies, operational strategies that we have. Patrol, we have guard duties, we have highway patrol, we have residential patrol, we have community policing patrol, and all the various strategies. We have checkpoints and other things. So it is the usual police operational strategies that we do on daily basis. And it's the same thing that the Jacobu Police District Command was doing. They were conducting their daily patrol, and the incident happened.
All right. From the video, you'll find that the police arm or ammunition was in the hands of an individual. Is that the same thing? And so who did the shooting?
The final part of your question, please.
Who did the shooting?
In the interim, we are investigating the shooting. As you said, you saw a police AK-47, a lethal weapon at that, having been snatched away, and the snatcher bolting with it. It was a serious incident. you wonder who is going to have possession of this weapon which is being taken away, and what the consequences of having possession of that would be to the general public.
Okay.
So you will not expect a police officer to stand by whilst a lethal weapon, AK-47, has been started. So in the interim, we want to believe that it is the police that shot, which we are going to subject to further investigation to establish exactly what happened. But in the interim, we want to believe that police shot. And then you saw the disorderly mob running away, with one of them running away with the police weapon. It is so interesting that at the end of it all, the disorderly mob that was running away together with one of them carrying police weapon, only one person, and that person was the one who had snatched the police weapon and was carrying it away, who fell. That is professionalism to its limit.
Okay. Thank you very much for this update. And you say that you are undertaking the investigation. So we'll wait on you. When the investigations are concluded, we'll get to know. But to you as well, we need the gold as a currency backer, so to speak, create the buffer for us. But at the end of the day, we have to do what is right for the economy. Is that not it?
That's right. Good morning, Ro. A very good morning to the incoming flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Honorable Kennedy Ejapon. Come Saturday 31st, we know he's going to win the elections, and then he will win convincingly. I know my brother Luigi will be happy if we present the old face. So
it's incoming flag bearer?
Yes.
What do you mean by old face?
Incoming flag bearer.
The incoming, the new face will come up. That is Honorable Kennedy Ejapon. You see, if you look at, we were talking about government's performance, and then
especially on the economy.
On the economy, and we know that yes, the performance has been good, backed by impressive stats. In our local parlance, they say, "All time okodua no way in America." I wish NDC were not performing this better, but they have.
They're performing better?
Yes.
What's Ken thinking about it?
And when you look at all these performances, with inflation dropping to 5.4%, with the CD appreciation of 37%, gross international reserve at 12 billion, price of fuel at the pump, petrol and all that, has dropped significantly. Betting tax gone, e-levy gone. I just pray it's not a 9-day wonder, but it's something that government is going to ensure that
sustainability is important.
And all that. We pray it lasts. And this is the reason why NPP, we must change our face.
I don't understand.
In the coming elections. Listen, if we bring the old face, you see the way Edwiji was very happy, rattling and then talking all about, we have done this, we have done that, the economy is booming, and then all that. That will be the message come 2028. But then if MPP brings in a new face, which is Honorable Kennedy Ejapon, then the dynamics will change. There will be a new room where the message will not only be on the economy, but we'll be talking about Ken, who is coming in with his mantra of creating jobs, decentralization of ministries, tourism as a potential of raking in forex, agricultural innovation. That you see, this is a man that his ethos is on patriotism, honesty, and discipline. PhD. Okay? This is a man who sees that, listen, let me come in and offer a new phase, a new dimension when it comes to the management of Ghana. That is why the MPP will need to change the face so the message changes.
Where is he currently? Where is it today?
Ken is in Accra. It was done with his rounds. He rounded it up on last Friday in Asen North and then Asen Central. And it was such a spectacle. You need to be there to see what happened then.
Okay.
You see? And so if we as a political party would want to have a stake in the 2028 elections, then we should go in with a new face and new candidate, so that the NDC will not have message to trumpet, we have done this and we brought in this and we have these reserves and all that. This is going to be their message. Okay? So we need to change things. And then let me come back to this Galamsey issue. You see, Ro, let us be frank with ourselves. Yes, gold pricing today, 126,000 US dollars, translating into almost about 1.7 or 1.8 million Ghana cedis. That is a whole lot. And so people would love to go there and make money. But, you know, we need, as a matter of urgency, to control the system, put in measures to ensure that the right things are done. We are not saying Ghanaians will not go and find work if there's not enough work out there for them to do. You see, and then secondly, this issue of people who would be attacking the police and attacking the security agencies is becoming too much. One too many. And then I think it's about time some education has to be done in some of these mining communities. You see, attacking the police, he has his rule of engagement. Why would the police set for you to run away with his gun? And then these were 2 officers on patrol, on their normal police patrol. And they were attacked by a mob numbering almost about 100. And then you think that they will stand and then watch you do whatever you want to do. What happened to Major Mahama? What happened to a couple of the police officers that have been assaulted in recent times? So definitely, he has to shoot. And then if his intention was not probably to shoot and kill, probably to injure you and then take his rifle back. He can't just sit. And we need to educate people.
No, are you saying that from the video is a policeman who shot?
Yeah, from all indications, it was a policeman. We have seen other angles of the video. It was a police that shot.
Okay. Ediji, how do we combat this? You know, the question then will be, how do we combat this? We have communities who have built their life around illegal mining and so are resisting state efforts to reduce or stop illegal mining.
Roland, I will combine this with a quick rebuttal. There's a story, 20th July 2023, City FM Online. High inflation, listen carefully, high inflation pushed 850,000 Ghanaians into poverty in 2022. So when President Mahama talks about the fact that the turnaround is beyond expectation, this is the data, that in 2022, high inflation alone caused 850,000 Ghanaians to be poor. Now look at the reverse today. Today, Ghana Statistical Service is telling us that per their multidimensional analysis and others, over 360,000 Ghanaians exited poverty in 2025.
Galamsey.
What it tells you is that Galamsey or no Galamsey, under no circumstance should any Ghanaian attack a security officer. Look, growing up, there are 3 categories of people I don't joke with. 1, a judge. He can simply change your sleeping place. It doesn't matter who you are. Oh no, if you joke with a judge, before you do bail, you would have already spent some hours in detention. I don't joke with a judge. Number 2, a teacher. Because all of us are what we are because of teachers. The next most important person is the police officer, or more importantly, security personnel. If you look at the risk they take daily just to make us safe, you have no idea. Whilst we are sleeping, snoring, these police officers are manning barriers, security posts all over the place just to ensure our security. And so it is the height of impudence, it's the height of impunity for, with the greatest respect, young people to accost police officers, even if you disagree with a police officer. Never, never attempt disarming that person. In fact, in the words of Chairman Mao, he said it is a foolish initiative for the unarmed to try to disarm the armed. Completely foolish initiative. I mean, this is a police officer holding.
Please, that quote again.
He said it is a foolish initiative for the unarmed to try to disarm the armed.
Oh, okay.
Chairman Mao.
That's risky.
No, that's complete risk. Complete misadventure.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
And if you look at these NIMOS and their operations, this is not the first time we are seeing some of this. And so it's important that we bring a stop. Where from this? Where from this impunity? I have heard my senior brother, Mr. Atta? Cephas Atta make the point that notwithstanding what we have watched and seen, the police are still going to investigate to put matters in proper perspective. I welcome that level of investigation because usually what that kind of investigation would do is to also serve as, maybe in terms of police standards, if it needs to be improved, among others who know. I listened to my brother make the point that it may well be that a police officer aimed at, maybe demobilizing the person who was running or something. Those facts may not be readily available. It's investigation that will bring all of it out. But I saw one guy in a yellow, he could run so fast. Oh, why?
The same boat of Galamsey.
No, actually, when you go on social media, there's a clipping. They've screenshot him, and he's been trending.
Yeah, the one, I can see, the one in the yellow top, he could run so fast. And you can see that the other police officer did some warning shot to disperse, but they wouldn't listen. 5 warning shots.
Okay.
So I think that we should not get to
William Evans Inkum. Good morning.
Started running.
William Inkum.
Good morning, Roland.
Charlie, in 2 minutes, tell me, how's the community like? Jacobu, I'm told it's in the Amancia South.
Amancia Central.
Amancia Central District.
It's in the Amancia Central District. And Roland, between 2015 and 2023, enjoy some level of public discourse because of Aisha Wan's connection as far as that reporting is concerned. In one of her, prosecutorial dockets, Deportation was mentioned as an area that she was operating as far as illegal mining activity in the Ashanti region is concerned. So Deportation is one notorious illegal mining site which is very known as far as the Ashanti region is concerned. As I speak to you now, there's relative calm at Deportation because we are talking about the magnitude of illegal mining in that particular area, and then the kind of tension that we normally report, it has doused a bit since the incarceration of Aisha Wan. So that is just about a bit of it. Was not actually, the name reporting thing in recent time was very not common as far as discussion on illegal mining was concerned until Friday when that incident happened. Now, what I have also been able to gather is that the one who is now deceased We understand his name is Jacob. Jacob is 20 years old, and we also understand that he hails from the Upper East region. Currently, he was residing dominantly in the central region. Then the one who also suffered a leg injury as a result of the alleged gunshot is also called Enoch. So these are a bit of information that we've been able to gather at the moment. Roland.
Okay, so one person is dead, confirmed, right?
Absolutely, Jacob, 20-year-old.
Okay.
Dead.
How is the community like when it comes to the illegal mining menace? To the point that the community members, as well as the illegal miners, are willing to ward off properly deployed state security personnel from either stopping them or coming to their site. Do that in a minute for me.
A hub. I mean, if you're talking about, it is a hub. If you're talking about illegal mining, and maybe if you want to even speak more to, degree, then you say a notorious area. So the opportunity is not an area that is very isolated when it comes to the issue of illegal mining. In fact, in 2015, I went there with the Regional Security Council. Then the COP, Kofi Boache, was the Ashanti Regional Police Commander, then the COP. He led that particular exercise. It was a swoop. And it lies in a deep forest. So illegal mining in that particular area is something that is known to everybody. That is, after 2023, the name was some way, somehow diminishing because the alleged campaign, as far as that particular area was concerned, was arrested and convicted.
All right, thank you, William Evans Inkum there. And
I want to see something.
Just 2 minutes for the two of you. Let me start with you.
You are starting with me.
2 minutes. Okay, one minute. So
you see,
because we have an interview with Professor Michael Quabe. One minute.
Okay, so the thing is that my brother is talking about the old face theory, but I'm advising him that certain opportunities.
Your 1 minute is on MPPO. Finish.
Well, yes, certain opportunities when you have it, you don't let it slide. Lawyer has given him an opportunity. He shouldn't let it slide. You should consider it in good faith. You understand? But you see, this whole thing about Galamsey and stuff, now we know that we have Hussein Boots in Galamsey. See,
that guy that was running like...
But you see, the point is that...
You've commented on Galamsey already.
Yeah. Let me land, please. The point is that, for me, I think that this kind of attitude where, civilians, because of Galamsey, may want to attack, police personnel and security personnel. This thing should not be entertained in this country, right? I think that if the Kumasi Regional Security was able to deploy soldiers to bring a whole community down, that thing should be done again at Jakubu. You see, so that they teach them lesson. And then next time when you see a police car moving, you'll be careful. You'll be careful because after all, they are going, they will go. Why wouldn't you allow them to do whatever they do and go? And then you have your peace if you want to do your Galamsey. But to go and attack them to the extent that you are going to disarm them, pick the AK-47. What are you going to use it for?
No. They said to have their peace in Galamsey. No, they won't have peace in Galamsey.
No.
So let me commend ACP Sefasata.
He's handled the communication professionally.
Yeah, great job.
Because I've been trying to probe our own female.
Yeah. No, he's a professional. He understands this.
Yeah, as in, we need people like ACP if we are going to win this battle against Galamsey. Also, commend Naimos and finally to say that Saturday will be a contest between the fake party and the virtual party. My prediction is that the fake party is going to win.
Professor Frimpong said he didn't say it's a fake party.
It's a fake party. It's a fake. It's a contest between fake and virtual. The fake people are going to win, but I'm assuring the virtual people that listen, if really your interest in why you do politics is Ghana, if really you claim that you believe in the ideals of the original NPP, then like I promised my brother here, Now, he sits in the paradise of the UP, is assured, and that they have a home in the UP. That they will no longer become virtual.
United Party.
That they will have a home in a party whose focus is really Ghana.
Roland,
Your election command center.
Roland, on 30 seconds.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday, an event took place. Sky, you remember, the first Sky crew.
Yes. That's where the president made a comment.
When are you inviting the Honorable Minister for Roads?
Tomorrow.
Oh, he's here tomorrow.
We hope to have him tomorrow.
And look
if
at
he's
what
free.
Look at what he's doing with the Big Push project. The agenda is deep with the support of the finance minister, the president, and I'm really excited this morning to let you know that a lot is happening within the energy sector, led by my sector minister, the Honorable Jinapor, and the education minister, the Honorable Haruna Idris.
Wow. Thank you, gentlemen. You wanted to say Kenny Japan is winning, right? You've said that.
Ken is definitely winning.
Today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Please put it. Give him a frame. Frame him.
We need water to
frame him. Look inside the camera. Happy birthday to you. Get connected.
Happy birthday,
Dr. Kweku Buahing. Happy birthday to you. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the latest sports headlines, but also tell you that we have an interaction with a former Speaker of Parliament, former Member of Parliament, former political science lecturer and writer, and and a leading member of the MPP as well, Reverend Professor Aaron Michael Quay. All right, and Beatrice did justice to that strong interview. We'll bring you that next. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Panic, but if you're
Masquerades are scary, but bills shouldn't scare you. Be one of 10,000 lucky winners when you deposit multiples of 400 Ghana cedis or take a loan in multiples of 4,000 Ghana cedis to win up to 1.5 million Ghana cedis in cash and prizes, 1-year insurance cover, and more. Tap into vibes in the EcoBank 5-Star Enjoyment Promo. Up to 15% discount when you use our cards and digital platforms. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. EcoBank will never call or text asking you to verify sensitive information like your PIN, Ghana card, or bank card information. Pay better attention to details.
In Ghana, our gold is more than a resource. It's our pride. And at Gold Board Jewelry, we celebrate that pride every day with craftsmanship that reflects who we are as Ghanaians. Introducing the Gold Board Jewelry Gold Tablet. Pure, certified, proudly Ghanaian gold. The best part, when you buy a Gold Board Jewelry tablet, you own it. You keep your gold with you, not with us. It's more than a jewelry. It's a smart investment for every Ghanaian who wants to secure their future. Gold Board Jewelry Gold Tablet. Own your gold. Own your future.
What does it take to be Ghana's most useful technology company? Is it the fact that we've been connecting businesses to their customers for over 20 years? Or that we power more than 12% of all electronic transactions in Ghana? Maybe it's that we are everywhere. From Accra to Ho, Kumasi to Tadi, Cape Coast to Tamale. Or is it that we safely process more transactions than any indigenous tech company here in Ghana? Or we deliver faster, we transfer safer, or we make businesses and life just a little easier? But what truly makes us Ghana's most useful technology company, it isn't the speed or the numbers. It's the people we connect, the dreams we keep moving, the communities we bring closer every single day. You prove every day what usefulness really looks like. We give you the tools, You provide the proof. Haptel, useful every day.
Kofi me me tank na say yo. Enti amafia bo kan ma tenants ni nyina dwa.
Just what tetena. Say green box sewage and above beer you so. No smell, no leakage, no pumping, no stress. Very easy to install. Essentially affable. Where ye European technology I in Ghana here. Green box sewage. Where a septic tank move septic tank. Green box sewage manages water and waste from your kitchen, WC, bathrooms, and washing machine, and does not require dislodging. Perfect for waterlogged areas.
My jamming. But your mom make green box tanks in 100. Yes, I'm in Franco. Man, she say, "Oh, come on, send it to Accra."
Frey 0551 194 844.
Green box tank affable.
Yeah! 26 promises joy, adventure, and new experiences. Global Wings Travel and Tours, in partnership with Media General, invites you to experience the best of Asia with an unforgettable Malaysia and Singapore tour this April 2026. Experience 9 unforgettable days filled with experience, luxury, and limitless fun. Your package includes return air ticket, 4 nights Kuala Lumpur hotel, 3 nights Singapore hotel, daily half board in both cities, Malaysia visa facilitation, Kuala Lumpur city tour, Petronas Twin Tower, Genting Highland with cable ride, inter-country transfer, Singapore city tour and Marina Observatory deck, Sentosa Island full day tour with cable car, and so much more. Why wait? Make your April 2026 Malaysia and Singapore trip a reality with one call. Book now by calling or WhatsApping 0550 188 181 or 0553 688 398. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Global Wings Travel GA.
You're probably wondering how Ebo got here. Oh, Ebo. You see, Ebo is not a bad guy. He's got plans. Big plans. But there's just one small problem. His wallet didn't get the memo. So he decides to take a shortcut. That was a bad idea. And that's how he found himself sitting across area champion, the great Abu Kayoyo. Let's just say, not every quick fix fixes everything. But with a Stanbic loan, he gets the upgrade he needs and the freedom to actually breathe. With a Stanbic loan, the only thing chasing you are your dreams.
Welcome to Rehoboth Havens Ayumensa, making home ownership simple and achievable for Ghanaians at home and abroad, starting from just 675,000 Ghana cedis. Situated within the serene hills of Ayumensa Danfa, Rehoboth Havens offers breathtaking views of the Pediasi Ebri Mountains. Here, we provide a peaceful environment meticulously designed for modern living. This is more than just a house, it's a lifestyle. Rehoboth Havens is a secure gated community featuring beautifully landscaped surroundings, a dedicated recreational center, unmatched comfort, safety, and peace of mind. For many Ghanaians living abroad, owning a property back home can feel like a distant dream. At Rehoboth Havens, we believe everyone deserves a place to call their own, a space for family, a lasting legacy, and a smart investment for the future. We offer spacious 2, 3, and 4-bedroom homes, move-in ready and designed for modern living. Don't wait. Secure your future today. Call us on 0553 751 933 or 0206 823 524 or 0244 764 499. Rehoboth Social Housing. Your housing dream becomes reality.
I want to watch the match.
Whoa! Who even watches Ghana football these days?
Do you know Charles Taylor?
The president.
Charles the Terror Taylor. He terrorized defenses with his dribbles. Who know Don Bote? His screamers shook the stadium. Osei for the general, lifting up trophies. Stephen Ojo was orchestrating the game. The legends of yesterday, they have paved way for the heroes of today. Do you know the Ghana Premier League?
No, Dad.
It's our game. It's our pride. And you watch it now live every weekend from now on.
Catch the Ghana Premier League live this and every weekend.
No.
Live right here on TV3.
You're welcome back. You're watching TV3 Newday. It's now time for sports. And today we're in a very good mood because Accra House of Oak spoiled day. We spoiled day. Mutala Yakubu is here to bring us all the updates.
Whatever you can do. Kotoko say that they can do better.
Because they are copycats. They have no ideas of their own.
I mean, I saw a picture of you trending. I was like, what is really happening?
Where was I trending?
You were trending, and the Kotoko fans under the post were like, we also scored the 3 songs.
Copy. You people don't have a mind of your own.
Of course.
3-0, no.
Yeah,
but let's also try and do it.
It was a good game for Heartofok. The first time they've scored 3 goals this season. And Masu Didi Dramani, their head coach, extremely delighted with that. For the first time, I saw Heartofok very potent up front, especially when they are creating a lot of chances. But they still need to be sharp in there. They can actually rival the likes of Midiema for the title. Benjamin Asare back keeping another. Yeah, it looks like the World Cup, but it's now inevitable.
Yes.
He would be the number 1 for Ghana when we go to the World Cup. So in the end, it turned out good for Heartofok. 3-0. They were actually waiting to see what will happen with Asante Kotoko. Then Kotoko said, hold my cap.
Copy.
We can also do better. Albert Amwa, back from his spell in Libya, and he scored a wonderful bicycle kick for Asante Kotoko to announce his presence. But he started all with this penalty, where, Samba Onel stepped up and converted after Saka Dauda was brought down. At that point, it looked like Baseke Holy Stars were going to be wiped out of the game. And clearly, we saw that once Asante Kotoko gets the lead against you at the Baba Sports Stadium, it becomes extremely difficult.
Why is the stadium so empty?
Well, Kotoko were not doing well for some time now. You know, next 2 weeks, they are playing Heartofok.
Yes.
At the same venue.
In Kumasi,
yes.
We are going.
So, the tonic for Kotoko is that they have to win this weekend's game. But look at this goal from Albert Amwa.
Is that the bicycle kick?
Yes, and he is one player who has scored against Heartofok before. So the Kotoko faithfuls are extremely confident that with his return, it means that next 2 weeks they are putting the Phobians to the sword. But
is that why only 20 people went to the stadium?
No, because Kotoko were not doing well. So
their jersey looks familiar though.
Yes, it's the Hope brand. That is what you're wearing.
That's their home jersey.
Yeah, that's their home jersey. And that is what they will wear against your club.
It looks like some Saudi jersey I've seen.
Not at all. That is what they will wear against your club next 2 weeks when they face off with each other. Well, let's see. That is what you'll be saying. Kotoko really are for this. But match day 20, done and dusted. Heartofok with that 3-0 victory over 11 Wonders. Kotoko also recording that same scoreline against Holy Stars. Then we had Bichem beating Heart of Lions. Rubricum Chelsea surprisingly getting a 2-0 victory over Gold Stars. Dreams drawing 1-0 with Young Apostles. And Hoho United, they had to come from 2 goals down to draw 2-2 with Vision. And Midiema, they are showing why they are on top of the Ghana Premier League table. They had a commanding 3-1 win over Karela. Samatex also beating Nations and Swedro All Blacks, losing at home to Diana. So you have the table on your screens there. Midiema, after 20 games, have 43 points, and many have tipped them to be favorite for this year's Ghana Premier League. Gold Stars lost by their second, and there's been a change for Heartofok and Asante Kotoko because they've moved up places. Kotoko are now 4th with Heartofok lying 5th. Still very close there. But the bottom, that is where there's a big danger for Hoho United. It looks like 11 Wonders will need a miracle to be able to survive. But for Hoho United, they've dropped into the relegation zone. And Young Apostles, after also their defeat, have dropped to 16th. Not looking too good for these teams. The likes of Sweden All Blacks lost, but they are still a bit away from the relegation
where's the
zone.
mattress company? Are they still on the lead?
All the teams are still
Where's
in the league.
Samatex?
Samatex are in there. They are in the top half. Actually, they are set on the league table. Beatrice's team.
Okay, that's all right.
They are the Timber Giants.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. All right, let's go to the EPL. Yesterday, I cried tears.
Why?
Arsenal.
Well, what's a shocking result, honestly? Well, and there was also Chelsea who won. They are doing the business also on the quiet. Liam Rossino, not much has been said about him, but he's doing. Ghana has 2 friendly games to play. We'll play in March. We play Austria on the 27th of March. Then we play Germany on the 30th. So the full results on your screens there. Liverpool losing to Bournemouth, last minute winner from Bournemouth condemned Liverpool to another defeat. And Burnley drawing 2-2 with Tottenham Hotspur. Fulham also beating Brighton and Hove Albion by 2-1, with Manchester City getting a 2-0 victory over Wolves. And West Ham beat Sunderland by 3-1, with Arsenal surprisingly losing at home to Manchester United, and Brentford also lost to Nottingham Forest. Chelsea went away to beat Crystal Palace at the Selhurst Park, and Newcastle also being condemned to a 2-0 victory by Aston Villa at the St James's Park. Today, it's Everton against Leeds United.
All right, that's it for sports. Thank you so much, Mutala Yakubu, bringing us all the updates there. We still have more for you on TV3 Newday. When we come back, we'll see that exclusive interview with Beatrice Edu and the former Speaker of Parliament, Mike Okwe. Stay tuned. We're going to bring you that much-awaited exclusive interview between Beatrice Edu and Mike Okoye, former Speaker of Parliament.
Professor Aaron Mike Okoye is a former Speaker of Parliament. He is a founding member of Ghana's biggest opposition party, the New Patriotic Party, a lawyer and a professor of politics. So he's a man who wears many hats. There are a number of issues that have come up in Ghana from Parliament, where he was the Speaker, to how the country is going, to things that are happening within the party that he helped to found, the New Patriotic Party. We want to talk about them today. Hello, my name is Beatrice Edu. Thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. And Prof, thank you so much for joining us as well for this conversation. Thank you for making time for us.
Thank you very much. You are most rather welcome to my home. And I appreciate that.
And Happy New Year to you, sir.
Oh, many happy returns to you too.
Let me first ask you, just a few days to the presidential primary by the NPP, what would be your own assessment as regards preparations towards this?
Very, very good preparations. And what is happening now is a very important development. And in this country, actually, we must be going forward in everything that we do. Our constitution itself enjoins, the 1992 constitution, that the internal practices of all political parties must abide by the tenets of the constitution and by democratic principles. So we must do things right and properly. Otherwise, in fact, very soon, you will find some people taking the political parties to court because they are not adhering to the basic principles of democracy. Being mindful of this, we also examined ourselves particularly some 2 years ago, before the last elections that we held in order to have our candidates. So we had to examine ourselves as to the challenges within the party. What you saw on Thursday was an answer to certain concerns. And of course, at every time, we must interrogate our systems and improve upon things to ensure that the system does not favor anyone against the others. A level playing field. And also that there will be trust and convenience in the process.
What exactly is happening that makes you think that preparations towards the presidential primary are good?
You remember some of the difficulties in elections, intra-party elections, regarding both two big political parties. The NDC have had their own problems. We've also had our own problems. Therefore, we're saying, what are some of the areas that might cause dispute? One, should our regional chairman be responsible for the elections? No. Should ministers have a particular place to control anything at all during our elections? That is, when we are in power and we have ministers? No. We decided under the committee that I chaired that all matters regarding the actual conduct of the elections should not be a party affair. It should be the preserve of the national institution responsible for political parties.
And that's which one?
Now, of course, that is the Electoral Commission. So, the processes by which the Electoral Commission just printed ballot papers, in fact, at one time, even our party were printing our own ballot papers. And that could be a source of suspicion for some people. So we said, the entire management of the election per se should be the business of the Electoral Commission. No party person should have any control or give any direction over how it should be done.
So when you say the issue where the Electoral Commission is printing ballot papers, are you referring to issues prior to 2024 general election, or you're still referring to the MPP's internal election?
Issues regarding previous elections. And we're talking then about the issues that many people raised by way of their concerns.
Now, you talked about the fact that the MPP or political parties must respect democratic principles. And yet, this very presidential primary you're going into, a number of people have expressed reservations about why the party has chosen to do this upside down. Instead of organizing your grassroots elections, you've decided to do presidential first.
You've jumped to another area. There's no upside down. And you realize that soon after the choice of the presidential candidate, we are going back to the bottom to the top approach.
So why did you choose it this way?
No, but this one, you see, the tenure, the constitutional provision for the choice of a presidential candidate has not lapsed. And people sometimes forget, it has not lapsed. Therefore, we are not doing any top bottom. Any time within this period that we're talking about, we can select our presidential candidate. Therefore, we decided to select the candidate early so that we shall have someone who will now stand for the party. To have it early so that a lot of the schisms that were taking place will end as soon as possible. So you realize that when we went to amend the Constitution, with regard, for example, a little bit of enlargement towards a future enlargement, we did not include a top to bottom approach, because the situation allows us to choose any time during this period. We have decided to elect the candidate within the very time provided for in our Constitution.
But is that not what could have fueled the mistrust that you talked about, which is why you decided to go?
No, it did not. People who did not understand it made a lot of statements. Later on, they understood. Have you heard anyone complaining about that issue?
Well, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, who is a founding member like yourself.
I don't want to talk about certain personalities, especially those who we know are opposing virtually everything. The executive have the power constitutionally to have this election during this period. Yes, they have. We did not have to amend the Constitution in order, therefore, to conduct this particular event. So those who are saying otherwise, they don't really appreciate the full dynamics of that Constitution. When this is over, other elections will take place. But the party thought we must have it early, so that we'll have a candidate early, so that also some of the difficulties of people speaking against each other will also end as soon as possible. It was well intended.
It was well intended, you say, Prof. But those who are and that's just the last question on this very particular
people who don't attend our meetings, people who have excluded themselves from our party, I mean, they cannot decide upon things for us sitting somewhere else. So let's leave that area.
Let's leave that. Yes, I was just going to say that per your own Constitution, they were nearing their tenure.
They are not nearing it yet. It will come after June.
After June. So the point was that this was a team that led the party into its defeat. At least let their tenure end, get new people, and then follow through the process.
That is an opinion. The important thing is what is being done is legal, is constitutional, and it is in the best interest of the party. Because I've told you, there have been a number of difficulties, even among contestants. Let us put an end to all this as quickly as possible. And then we have a candidate who will now be the leader of the battle for grabbing political power from our opponents.
Prof,
that's all.
You made a categorical statement, and you seem to have been happy with it, that preparations going into the presidential primary are very well. And yet, few days to the elections, we've had especially the leading aspirant throwing jabs at each other, with the latest coming from Kennedy Japan calling the former vice president a liar and the reactions from that camp. You should be worried about that.
You see, well, therefore, if the Congress is early, so that such matters will end as soon as possible, of course, you will understand. You will understand. That is why the Congress is early, so that we'll put an end to all this, put them behind us, and move on forward towards the main purpose of the party to contest the national general elections. But of course, some of these matters on social media, they are not even easy to verify.
I've watched the video of Kennedy Japan.
I haven't, unfortunately. And when these come to the disciplinary committee, action is always taken by way of advisory aspects of this by the National Council of Elders.
Has it come to the disciplinary committee yet?
I say, oh, this matter, I don't even know of it. So
you don't know about
it might be something fresh.
But beyond that, I mean, this throwing of jabs, we've even heard the spokespersons exchange words on social media.
These difficulties, they do arise. If we want us to go into history, go and ask Obeda Samoa what happened to him at an NDC Congress. Go and ask Isiem what also happened to her. Dr. Kwesibotu is gone. But go, if he were here, you will see how he had to run for his life at an NDC Congress. But you see, these difficulties are not the essence of what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a level playing field. A level playing field whereby the Electoral Commission has been invited to conduct the elections. In fact, choose the sites into an open spaces whereby there will be nobody doing any kululu in any corner. The police have been made part and parcel of the process. This was not done before. We just invited them so that they will come and observe. Now, they are not observers. The IGP has been told, and the IGP did reiterate that the police are fully in charge of the process. We have ceded that one to them as well. The National Peace Council was also invited to be part and parcel of the process so that we all know that this is not an event that one can sort of play kululu on, but that we are going by the democratic principles as indeed we are enjoined by the national constitution. These are positive developments, and I will prefer to hammer on these positivities, and then we'll move forward. I've told you that we are progressing.
You are progressing. Have you heard of vote buying allegations? So that beyond what the Electoral Commission may come to do, whoever pays more would eventually get elected anyway.
I don't really know. But, you know, I've spoken on various fora against vote buying. And the principle of the monocracy generally. But these are secret events. Everywhere. In the national election, votes were bought, we are told.
So possibly the elections may not be
fair. Any matter about vote buying, I personally condemn it, because these things don't help to promote democracy. But it's not peculiar to this particular Congress in any way at all. And I am really working on the positivities, particularly on the recommendations that I chaired some 2 years ago, having studied the difficulties that we're having in our elections generally in this country, and in fact help to introduce the principle of the IPAC, bringing the IPAC national to the IPAC in the party. We called it, therefore, Intra-Party Advisory Committee, so that at every given stage, the candidates had representatives at the committee, and then they helped to decide on every matter, including things like proxy, how to work on proxy. I tell you, all the political parties have problems with proxy votes, whether it is party A or party B, but then how do you restrict it? I helped to introduce the concept of affidavits being sworn. If you are not able to come and vote, swear an affidavit, and you could be held responsible if you swore a false affidavits. Therefore, there are developments, positive developments, to make the process better and improve upon intra-party democracy.
Prof, the intent of the question I asked earlier was that people feel this has gone on for too long, and perhaps leaders, including yourself, have failed at solving this, which is why just a few days to the presidential primary, we're still hearing all these things coming up from among...
We'll continue to hear them, whether it's party A or party B. And I'm very glad, for example, about some of the recommendations that Professor Prempeh has made with regard to electoral elections in Ghana and monocracy. I've written on this. I've brought out mechanisms on this. We have to work it all as a nation. Our national election last time, if you heard some of the things that people did with regard to money, it's not the best.
So I wasn't asking about the money. I was asking about the pronouncements by the candidates and people feeling that elders like yourself have failed at dealing with the problem.
And also pronouncements, generally. What haven't we heard, particularly with regard to this freedom of expression that is being abused left, right, and center?
You don't think you failed at dealing with the problem?
I don't think... I would say there's room for improvement. I would say there's room for improvement.
So you could have done better than you have done now?
We could have done better. I mean, I'm talking as a nation, not as a party, as a nation. We could have done better. Look at the vituperative nature of political discourse as a whole in this country. It's not the best.
It's not the best, you say. There are those who also argue that looking at the utterances of these individuals, they probably may not even be qualified for the party to elect towards 2028 general election. How do you respond to that?
that is a bit difficult. And you realize that many of these difficulties actually come with the supporters. Many of them come with the supporters. And sometimes they may even say things that the candidate does not really approve of. But nevertheless, the committees that are responsible for discipline, I tell you, they are busy calling people their attention to what is not acceptable, and also the Council of Elders using their advisory capacities as well on these matters.
The candidates themselves have been throwing jabs. Who has been called to the disciplinary committee?
Disciplinary committee issues, invitations by the Council of Elders are not matters that we discuss.
Has anybody been called?
I would say they are not matters that we discuss in public. But in actual fact, this has been the practice of the National Council of Elders as well as the disciplinary committee.
I respect the fact that you don't want to divulge information, but has any of the 5 candidates been called?
It's the same information, in fact, put in a different color. You are asking the same thing.
But what do you intend to do about it?
I recommend strongly, one, that the Council of Elders in political parties must play an adjudicatory role. In Britain, the House of Lords have a judicial committee of the Privy Council. That judicial committee helps to resolve problems well behind the scenes, because after conflicts, they do arise in all society. And if you have such conflict resolution as well as conflict prevention mechanisms, it helps the society better.
On Thursday, the 22nd of January, of course, few days to the election again, that's about 9 days or so, you signed a peace pact. Yes. To what extent does this bring some sort of sanity or calmness, as it were, to this whole scene ahead of the 31st primary?
The peace pact, strictly speaking, is not what I may call a contractual legal document. But we are all supposed to be decent people. We are all supposed to subscribe to the rules of the game. We are all enjoined to be decent in our operations, and also to devise methods of managing state affairs so that we don't complain after the event. It is a way of showing, I introduced it 2 years ago. It is a way of showing that the processes have been fair. And you realize this was mentioned on Thursday. and also that all things going by what has been established, including leaving police matters to police and not to some macho men, including leaving ballot issues to the Electoral Commission and not any individuals, no matter who they are in the party, all things being equal, you are part and parcel of this, and you therefore subscribe to it, that all is fair.
So you say that it is not supposed to be contractual, meaning you agree with those who say that, or who have actually said it's just a piece of paper, it doesn't mean anything.
No, decent people, you know what? In decent societies, a person takes a phone and he says, supply so and so amount of that. The following day it's on the ship coming because of somebody's telephone call. That is respect. That is trust. That is confidence. Our society must grow towards that. You have tried to fix your responses in the national context. Skeptics are saying that we saw what happened within the 8 years administration of the Akufo-Addo government. People died. There were peace pacts that were signed. If that could not be done, what is the confidence here that you're going to be able to ensure that people have signed and at least they recognize to ensure the right thing is done? Decency is not a one-day development. It's a difficulty in society, especially developing nations. It's true. We have not developed systems. And I speak in a national context so that it doesn't become a party banter. Because there are commonalities. These commonalities, journalists and all, must help to improve upon. So the chaos we saw and the response that we saw to those chaos was as a result of system failure? What chaos, for example, are you referring to? I'm talking about the 8 people who died and the others who died in the different major elections we had within that 8 years. You say that it was a system failure. All these things traverse to Cheriponi, Akwetia, also West Wogon, and so on and so forth. A holistic issue. You remember a law came to Parliament against these events so that vigilantism will be eschewed. These are all part of the developments, and we should all help so that they develop. In fact, these days, some who want to pick up on the media will talk about vituperative media and so on and so forth. But it's because the whole society has become rather a bit difficult. I think holistically, we can work to improve upon it. You wouldn't say or you wouldn't blame the individuals who are in power for what might have happened, but people are equally concerned about the kind of response, to an extent that people were concerned about investigations not being done until quite recently. You don't think that was a leadership failure? Cheriponi and others, Akwetia and co, people continue to blame the government, NDC government, for it, as well as Ayawaso Wogon. People continue to blame the NPP for it. That's why I'm saying, as much as possible, you and others who belong to the Inky fraternity should work also and help so that these things are exposed. One, so that suggestions are made how best these things can be managed. You don't think it was leadership failure? You know what? Some commentators, some analysts, trace this to the absence of constitutional provisions that allow meritocracy and independence of institutions to work. For example, appointments of IGPs generally in this country. How can there be trust when we as a people have made it a point when a government goes, it goes with its IGP, it goes with its military leaders, it goes with this, it goes with that. I'm not talking about one particular party. It crosses around both parties. When you have that kind of system, then it's, of course, the word you have used, systemic failure. It's a systemic failure. But when we develop to the point whereby institutions will be strong and as independent as possible, then the whole thing becomes different. Let me talk about the Council of State briefly in this regard. We have a Council of State. Essentially, is to advise the executive as well as certain advisory work in certain advisory capacities generally. Then we give 5 places for the president to choose who should be the advisors. A president can choose, and when I say this, I'm not talking about any particular president. I'm talking about the position of a president. Because I started saying this several years ago, including time whether NPP or NDC was in power. Then we give the president 5 spaces for him to choose advisors. But the man can choose, or the man or the woman can choose as many advisors that he wants to advise him in his work. You know what? In Ghana, it doesn't matter which part you come from, north, south, east, west. There's one thing. No chief chooses members of his advisory council.
That's a different kind of governance system.
No, but that is what we must learn and get examples from. The chief's advisors are there before he comes. And Chidomhine, so and so they all have their powers. That is what one may call countervailing authority.
So, Prof, the question I was asking you earlier, which I'm not sure I've received answers to, was yes, there could be institutional failure, but strong institutions are managed by strong personalities.
Well, that's if a person wants the right thing to be done, it's good. But that doesn't make him a strong personality by the conceptualization of it.
So what I meant by
all
that
you have
was
to
that
do is to work within the full parameters of the rules of the game and the institutional systems established over the years.
People called for investigations, and it was up until recently that we saw something being done. And that's why I asked you the question, was it a leadership failure?
Where there was a need to set up committees to investigate, like Chereponi, like Akwetia, and it was not done, it was a failure. Where it was done, like Awayasu Wogon, and it was done, it was not a failure. So you realize that sometimes it was better to investigate. In some cases, it was not done.
The government did not necessarily accept what had been reported by Emil Short, and a lot of the things said a different thing, really.
Different attitudes and approaches were held. And as of today, I will wish that in all those matters, there was an investigation. But you realize that, at least with regard to Ayawaso, there was an investigation. With regard to Chereponi, Akwetia, and others by the NDC, there was no investigation was allowed. And this is the difference, if you any at all. So if you didn't accept everything completely, but at least you accepted some, and the report too was published, it's better than when people just did a cover-up. But you see, I will not want to go so much into those areas to give the impression that I'm now doing an MPP NDC banter. I want to speak with regard to some of these statesmanly issues and analytical areas that will bring better governance to Ghana.
You chaired a committee to come out with a report regarding why the MPP had that kind of failure or defeat in the 2024 general election. And we've even heard the General Secretary of the party say that that report will not be made public. Why?
Oh, Professor Kwesi was my senior in Presec, who published the Kwesi report.
But there were some highlights that we saw.
There were no highlights anywhere. Some people said these are highlights. There was no official highlighting. Those are internal documents. In fact, some people have even asked why we, as a committee, did not make copies available to certain personalities in the party. But it was not meant so to be. When you are commissioned by a body to do a work, when you finish that work, you have to report to those who commissioned you that I can tell you honestly, and by good faith, as a Christian, that I don't have a copy.
But you chaired the committee.
Yes, I don't need to keep a copy. The secretary has a copy.
And you have every information in the report
yes,
anyway. You don't need to have a copy.
I can talk about it. But I'm just trying to let you know, I am not expected to talk about it.
So
I report to those who commissioned me. When I do that, I'm finished. Not a copy was given to any other human being on this earth. And I think that's the way the work must be done.
So how will stakeholders who contributed to whatever happened in 2024 get to know what went wrong and learn?
That is why we reported to the National Council of the party, the highest decision body outside conference. When we report to them, we have washed our hands of it. And they've started implementing some areas, and they are going to implement more in due course, which we quietly are observing.
Critics claim that perhaps you are not publishing because it might expose, the report might expose the current leadership and how badly they performed ahead.
Nobody ever publishes such reports. They are not meant for the public. The NDC never has. The MPP will not do so. Why? Because those who commission, you report to them, and they use aspects as they think fit to improve upon situations.
Fortunately, you chaired that committee. What highlights were in that report?
I've just told you that we don't report to outsiders. We report to those who commissioned us. And actually, I mean exactly what I'm saying. And in fact, there are some people who have even grievances against some of us, particularly me as chairman, because I did not go to present them with copies of the report. I don't think they are right.
So you're not sharing any highlights even here?
I don't. I'm not expected to. In fact, it would be irresponsible on my part. And I'm subject to disciplinary action if I should start throwing matters of the report into the public realm.
Prof, former President Kufuor seems unhappy about a lot of things happening with the current NPP.
Don't start. I won't even discuss it.
You don't want to talk about him?
No. He's a big man.
But looking at all the things he said, is that not, people think perhaps it's indicative that the party may not be in the right direction?
I will be glad if President Kufuor was my boss, you know.
Yes.
President Kufuor was the next president of our great party, you know. I would not want to go into those waters. There are many important matters to talk about.
How do you interpret what happened between Professor Frimpong Boateng and the MPP?
I won't go into those areas.
I'm going to Professor Frimpong Boateng because he said some things and the party said...
In fact, to me, he's supposed to have said something. I cannot even talk about whether that thing is actually verifiable.
One of the things that came out on Thursday from the former president, he said a party that cannot accept defeat cannot win the confidence of Ghanaians. Would you say that the MPP has accepted defeat?
Oh, definitely. The MPP has accepted defeat. The MPP has not gone to court to challenge the verdict. And the MPP has not staged any demonstration or remonstration, whatever, about the outcome of the election. And the MPP, and what the former president said is very correct, because the MPP rather is interrogating itself to see how best it can improve upon practices so as to gain political power.
How do you then interpret a lot of comments from people, both members and leaders, that whatever it is that we are seeing in the current government is because of what the MPP did before they lost power?
Basically, we accept certain problems. We accept that certain decisions were not right. We accept that certain actions and inactions should be done differently so that when we are in power again, we'll better serve the people. And those internal admissions are very, very important. If you don't accept your wrong, you cannot improve upon your performance in the future.
Let me ask you, the peace pact that was signed, did all the candidates agree to sign it happily?
Oh, they agreed. You know, I've told you about what I helped to establish 2 years ago. Because from 1992, I had observed all congresses. We got to see what happened and how they can be improved upon, including even bringing an IPAC. Maybe our opponents one day may also adopt an IPAC in their internal politicking. So you realize that actually, depending upon the improvements they had seen, if you were complaining about proxy is out. If we were complaining about interference by regional chairmen and so on and so forth, it is out. If you are not satisfied about how people will come and vote and whether there's going to be camping and so on and so forth, that is also out. If you camp, you are disqualified. It was part of the institutional corrections that we made and so on and so forth. So with those issues that had been addressed, definitely a person should be happy.
One of the things dominating conversations now has been the former finance minister. What's your thought on the trajectory he's decided to be on?
At the moment, we'll have to wait and see the developments in America. I'm very objective in some of these matters. So I don't like jumping the gun with regard to anything. When the process has matured enough, we can make comments.
So what I mean by that question is the request for him to come home and he choosing to stay there because
I don't know the factors that have made him choose that pathway. Let us wait for everything to unfold. Then we can comment.
But if you are advising him, would you ask him to come home?
If I should advise him, I will request all the documentation regarding the matter, including his health, including whatever other challenges he may have faced. When I get a full dossier, then I will make a comment.
Many think the president should ask him to come home because, I don't
know what the former president knows, and I don't know what communication we have given, directed to his senior brother, and I will wait also to know these facts in order to comment. I have not had any conversation with the former president with regard to that matter. Then I go and make public comments.
But as a founding member of the NPP, aren't you concerned about it? How Ghanaians are talking?
I'm concerned and I'm observing.
Concerned in which way?
Concerned about what is happening.
How?
In the sense that a former finance minister is in that situation. And if you wait and see, you can make better comments.
Prof, in that, I just want to understand the context within which you're saying. That he is in that situation. How exactly do you mean?
By way of the accusation, by way of the allegations. True or not true, I'm not able to say. By way of the present quagmire in the United States of America, and so on and so forth. If you have a complete background as to the dynamics, then you can comment upon it.
People say this is a dent on the NPP, irrespective of how you're looking at it.
Wait until the events have played out. Then we can comment on what is a dent and what is not a dent.
You talked about current issues again. How would you rate President John Mahama in 1 year?
I would rather wait and see about further developments regarding this regime.
But so far, what would you say about the economy and corruption?
If I were to say I've made up a mind so far, I would have told you I have not made any mind.
Not even on illegal mining, nothing at all? As regards illegal mining, how the government is fighting it?
Illegal mining, the government is saying something. I believe that a government which has got a mandate to rule deserves some time for us to see whether word is matching action or not.
So far, you haven't seen anything?
So far, I would rather not jump into the affray.
You seem to have issues with the lithium agreement. What exactly have you seen?
I link up the lithium issue with our perennial IMF visits. Ghana has been to the IMF 17 times. And in fact, we were to come out of the IMF in March or so. We have just been told that now we are going to add 3 months. And when the president, for example, was talking about our imminent getting out of the IMF, he seemed to be very happy about it. But then suddenly, and I also was happy about it. Ghanaians should be happy about it. But suddenly, we are going to extend this to further 3 months, which means there's still a difficulty. The difficulty about the IMF, I say, is not the doing of any particular government. Because the NDC have been there, the MPP have been there, the military governments have been there. The only government that was never there was the Kwame Nkrumah regime.
Perhaps the reason people are seeing a difference is that the MPP said a category.
No, wait,
Finance Minister said we were not going there.
But some people too have just said they are leaving in 3 months. Now they say they are contracting other 3 months. You see, don't lead me there. I don't like a banter of MPP, NDC, MPP, NDC, NDC, MPP. This is what, at me, is, as a statesman, is destroying this country. Let us look at the issues and the principles. If a country cannot manage its budget, if we want free education and we cannot afford it, if people have to go on the national health insurance and yet it becomes a porous area, it doesn't matter which party is in power, there will be difficulty. Because because we have given our lithium away, because we have given the oil away. That's why I'm making that linkage. I hope you get me. If IMF visitation will save this country, we didn't have gone 17 times.
So,
and I'm saying therefore that what do we have? Is that how Dubai made their oil arrangement by way of royalties? No. And we all know it. Then why do we continue to pursue the royalty pathway? The present one now is ownership. The world paradigm now, which has shifted from royalties, which is like Jikodidi, we have now moved to ownership. We must own what we already own. We own the lithium. You are coming to mine it. There might be such an arrangement that we bring all the equities on the table and then we decide upon the shares. Before we even start putting the equity on the table, Ghana has got more than 50% because the thing belongs to us. The quintessence of the arrangement, which is lithium mineral, which will last for only 15 years, 12 to 15 years, belongs to Ghana. So we put that there and we take our equity already. Then we have already also put in money. And you know that all the monies that we have already put in as Ghana from our minerals investment fund that we have used, we put that also there and so on. When we have worked the equities, those people who are coming, they are not holding bags of money. They are going to borrow from the market. We all go and borrow from the market and do the work and own the bigger share of the product. If you look at what we call byproducts of this, that will lead to all manner of jobs and so on and so forth. Processing here in Ghana, making batteries here in Ghana, so that we can now power computers in the rural areas for our JSS and SHS students and so on. It can only happen if they don't ship the raw material away. But that is what we are now bargaining for.
We'll go into that, but you said that we're giving our minerals away. This lithium contract, for instance, it was just 13%. What did you say about it?
First of all, it was 10%. But now, have you seen the starting point? It's going to be 9%. Already there, it's lower. But even when the MPP government was talking 10%, I was saying no. Because we want to own the thing. You are talking to me about royalty. The owner, it's a colonial arrangement, which long is gone. When the white man actually owned everything. He owned everything because we were colonized. And then they gave us royalties, and we want royalty again. You have mentioned this. Now we start from 9%, and then we graduate it to 13%. Who puts a ceiling upon what you can pay him for what belongs to him? Why? For example, no lawyer advising the owner of a house, and also one advising a person who is going to be a tenant, that, you know what, seal your benefits as the landlord to 13% increase over the years, for example, over a long lease. You cannot do that. Why? Because you don't know tomorrow how the economy will be like. So why are we doing that? And that is what I'm against. We are Ghanaians, government of Ghana. We own the lithium. We are giving it to you. Then we say that when it goes up to a certain price, don't pay me more than 13%. It is your benefit. So why do you say we must have a ceiling? So and I want to use your channel to let Honorable Ama Kofi Bua know that he had no reason to tell us that he was very happy about what has been done. Because you cannot be happy with such an arrangement. When the thing goes high, let us renegotiate. But you say when it goes to 13% and above, beyond 13%, oh, don't worry, take it all. That's what it means, take all. How can you do that?
You talked about the fact that we need to ensure that our budgets takes care of us, and yet we don't have enough, which is why we keep going to the IMF. We seem to see some willingness on the part of the leaders the country has had to make things better. We saw the former president say Ghana beyond aid. We've seen the current president also talk about the need to work on our raw materials so that we get better. In fact, the latest thing that he said was at the World Economic Forum in Davos, where he said, we are depending on outsiders for our security, health, and all of that. That is not good for us. So they seem to have the willingness. Why have we failed at implementing or materializing this willingness into what we need?
It's most unfortunate. Because, you see, the gap between words and action is manifestly woeful. And it's very, very clear. In particular, about you young people coming. I tell you, unless we change that paradigm, the paradigm that makes us all want to go to Dubai, unless that is changed, we'll continue to go a borrowing, we'll go a begging, all these people all this time. We must own the thing. I say, let us come to the table and work out the equities. If it is capital, capital is not brought by the investors in their bags. They go and raise it from the capital market. And for capital, it only wants to know, is it economically feasible? What does the report say? How many years? And what will be the economic benefits? They'll give you the money. And also, people talk about expertise. Expertise you hire. These days, any viable company can hire expertise from any part of the world. Go and see top businesses in America, Indian chief executives. You hire expertise. And I tell you, many Ghanaians today are actually working as engineers for top mining companies. And they are working. If you go to Ashanti Gold today, there is no white man working on the engineering area at all.
So we should find those with skills and give them the job.
And form our own cartels and do the job.
Prof, I'm taking you back to Parliament, where you presided as a speaker. And in 2020, there was a significant issue that happened when you ruled to say that as long as the Fomina MP had decided he was going independent, he had vacated his seat and declared that there should be a by-election. Yet, 4 years down the line, when another issue came back, with 4 MPs when the NDC was the minority. You criticize them. People think that that's contradictory. If you could explain to us what happened.
It is not contradictory at all. That provision, when the MPP came out with a request, I told them, as a party, they must make it formal. I believe that that provision is to inure to the benefit of political parties. The party made their request. Then I invited the person they were complaining against.
As in the former MP.
Exactly. Odi Oteram Patem, give the other party an opportunity to be heard. You cannot take a disciplinary action against any person without hearing him. He was given every opportunity. He declared on radio that he was not going to attend. After all those opportunities, then the matter was formally decided upon. That is the difference. I pointed out to them that if you want to take this action, you cannot assume that because a person has taken a certain step, you are going to directly punish them. In fact, recently I was telling my party that there's nothing like automatic forfeiture of membership. If you want to forfeit somebody's membership, you have to hear him.
But those four...
The opportunity was there for that person to be heard. So on this occasion, I said, if you want to take a disciplinary action, hear him.
But those individuals had also said that they were not going to be with the party.
No, they are not. You see, people were assuming. And I say, you must serve him formally with a document saying that this is what has been said against you, this is what is the allegation, this is what you have been accused of, what is your answer?
So the speaker was wrong when he declared
I don't want to go into those areas. I can explain my action. I can tell you why I chose that area of response. And that is how it was different from other things that happened.
So I mentioned the speaker because he used your decision as precedent.
If anybody used my decision as a precedent without following the processes that led to that decision, that person cannot be correct.
At the end of the day, the Supreme Court
tell you, in law, the law and the procedure must rhyme. This is what we were taught in law school. When they don't rhyme, you cannot take that decision and say, I made that decision, and that decision is similar to the person who gave the procedural matter aspect the same effect as the application of the law.
You're a senior lawyer, and I'm glad you talk about this. What would you say then about the decision of the Supreme Court to, turn this whole thing around, saying that it was wrong for the speaker to do that?
That is a decision of the Supreme Court. And in law, we say res ipsa loquitur. It speaks for itself.
The decision of Apenyo Markin to go to court first, people feel that it might have undermined the authority of not just the speaker, but Parliament as a whole.
When?
I'm talking about the same 4 MPs, because he went to court first, even before everything, the dust could settle on the matter. Inviting the Supreme Court in, that was like inviting another arm into...
The Supreme Court is provided by the Constitution as the final adjudicator of all disputes within the Republic, and particularly when a matter has constitutional dimensions, they are to be settled at the Supreme Court. On those 2 legs, has it got constitutional implications? Is it a controversy within the Republic? The Supreme Court is the final arbiter. If you go to court, you do the right thing.
So you don't think his action undermined the authority of Parliament?
When you see that if, in the final analysis, the Supreme Court, Parliament is subject to the judicial authority of the Supreme Court. The President of the Republic is subject to the final authority of the Supreme Court. even when you are elected and it's challenged, the Supreme Court can decide that indeed you lost the election. Is that not enough to tell you that the president can be under the authority of the Supreme Court? So the Supreme Court being the final arbiter, it means that the Constitution admits that there can be controversies in Ghana between whoever. When there's a controversy, authoritatively, the final arbiter, and let everybody know this, is the Supreme Court.
Let me get your general thoughts on the Constitution Review Committee that submitted its reports. The recommendations that came up. As a lawyer,
Professor Prempeh has done, and his team have done a very good job. In fact, people forget about Professor Fiajo. His voluminous treatise is a good guide, not only even for now, but in futuristic terms as well. The present group have also captured salient aspects. For example, the Fiajo report did not authoritatively decide upon ministers being appointed from Parliament. He said the president should be given a free hand. But that doesn't solve the problem. The Prempeh report has really caught the bull by the horn. There should be a total dichotomy.
How do you think this will change the dynamics in Parliament? As a speaker yourself, who oversaw how
you are in
members
Parliament and you are also an MP, when you are a minister and you are also an MP, you will find that you may have to leave cabinet to come and vote because of a crucial debate and because of numbers. When you have to work also in the executive and so on. The committee was quick to add that no member of Parliament shall take any other government position, including members of boards. It became the practice that if you couldn't give somebody a minister, then you must try to compensate him with chairman of a board or member of a board. These were all consequences of ministers being in Parliament.
Do you think those weakened Parliament as an institution?
Of course. When you are going to check yourselves, and you yourselves are members of the boards, how do you do it?
How do you do it? And another thing that came up
It led to conflict of interest, and also not a concentration. You see, we copied America and copied Britain. Therefore, we got lost.
So where should we be?
We should choose one. And I think now the pathway is the American pathway. If you are Secretary of State, you are not a member of Senate or the House of Representatives. You must choose one. And in fact, he went on to recommend further that if you contest the present election and you are elected into Parliament, you cannot resign and go and take the executive position. All part of developing Parliament. And in fact, a senatorial career is a very, very reputable thing in America. No senator wants to resign to become a secretary of the president, minister, if you may so put. And I believe that development will give Parliament experience. It will give Parliament concentration. And we'll see that there will be a different type of legislator in this country if we adopt that.
If we adopt that, 5 years for a president for each term, is that a good idea?
It's not good. And in fact, to my mind, it's not good. It's not necessary. And it was unfortunate to see the reason so that a president can complete his program. No, it is fallacy. And in fact, I had elsewhere advocated a National Development Planning Commission that will be autonomous as much as possible. Presidents shouldn't make members of their commission. The institutions must do that. The engineers institution, the University of Science and Technology, they should nominate those people who will be there. And I believe that we will be better represented if we do the institutional representation.
Beyond the CRC's report, what would be your general assessment of the parliament we have now?
It's a microcosm of Ghana and acceptable generally. That's what I would say.
Would you say that the minority is doing what it's supposed to do?
The minority is doing what it's supposed to do. The majority is doing what it's supposed to do by way of what we know in Ghana for now. We must improve upon what I have always described as collegiality and conviviality.
You're a diplomat and a former High Commissioner of Ghana to India. I believe you understand the diplomatic space as well. In recent times, we've had the current Foreign Affairs Minister coming under fire for his utterances that perhaps indirectly got America to, take some negative decisions against Ghana. And there are some critics, including the minority, asking the president to relieve him of his post. Understanding this space, what do you think of this call?
He's a fine young man. He's a precept boy, one of my people. When you come to such positions, naturally, there's a little bit of over-enthusiasm. But foreign affairs is very, very systematized. It's a place of serious people, really. They've got some of the best qualities of human beings in Ghana, honestly. And you find that many presidents went for secretary to the cabinet from that ministry. It's a powerful place. I will only advise my good friend and younger brother that he must listen more to the powerful men that he has got there.
So you don't agree with the call?
Pardon?
We don't agree with the call?
Oh, I'm not talking about the call. I've put it my way. I would rather tell him the people are there. Those ambassadorial caliber of people, they are there. Use them more.
Are you concerned that the LGBTQI bill has still not seen the light of day?
That is a shame, actually. And Ghanaians are entitled to complain about it. It took front seat in the last campaign, is that not so? I am particularly interested also in the LGBTQ matter. It is against our tradition. It's against our ideas, beliefs, and values. It's against both Muslim and Christian doctrines and pathways. I believe that in order that it may not look that they just took advantage of that situation, let them watch carefully how they handle that.
What's your thoughts on the performance of the Black Stars?
It was President Kufuor who said a coach should be careful and not bother too much, because in Ghana, we are all coaches. It shows you how Ghanaians love football. I will always say that they should not break our hearts when we get there. We don't want to come home after the first leg of matches. We want to stay there a bit and feel that we too are there.
And my final question, your career path has shaped how people see you, but is there anything that makes people around you crack?
I'm very social. So fortunately, my wife is no longer alive. But when she was alive, we were very good dancers.
Oh.
And operated in that kind of unison. I tell you honestly, I'm lively.
You're lively. Thank you so much.
But I love the books.
You love the books.
Yes.
Thank you so much for making time to talk to us. So that's our conversation with Professor Aaron Michael Oquaye, a former Speaker of Parliament, also a founding member of the opposition New Patriotic Party, and a professor of politics and a lawyer as well. Thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. My name is Beatrice Edu. Do enjoy the rest of our programs.
And that's a very excellent conversation between Beatrice Edu and the former Speaker of Parliament, Michael Oquaye. That's a very, very informative and interesting conversation.
Yeah.
I enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end when he spoke about the five-year presidency being a fallacy.
Yeah, yeah. I think a number of, based on our own monitorings on social media, a number of people felt, okay, if you get a bad leader, then you're going to endure that for a very long time. So it's interesting his view on it as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I look forward to, I hope we're going to, it will be on our Facebook feed. So you can catch the full interview in case you missed any part of it. You can catch it on our Facebook feed and enjoy. Great conversation.
Yeah.
Great conversation.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, now, if you're ready to scratch, win, and live your dreams, reveal Scratch for Win is here to change your life. Just dial *850*3# to start the chance to win up to 1 million Ghana cedis in cash prizes instantly. It's easy, it's exciting, and it's regulated by the National Lottery Authority. Just dial *850*3# or visit www.scratchforwin.com to play now. It's easy to play. All you have to do is first simply dial *850*3# on all networks. Then select your preferred stake amount. So you can stake between 5 cedis to 2,000 cedis. Then choose your lucky card out of 5 exciting options. Then confirm your selection and enter your Momo PIN. Then you receive the game results and winnings instantly. It's easy, it's fun, and it's exciting. So just get ready, scratch and win, and live your best life with Reveal Scratch for Win. Up to 1 million Ghana cedis up for grabs today. Dial *850*3#. That's the short code to play on all networks, or visit www.scratchforwin.com to play now. Reveal Scratch for Win, scratch a keke. Nadisi kase bam. Reveal is strictly for persons 18 years old and above. Reveal Scratch and Win is powered by Super Cash Games. All right. That's our show for today. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition of TV3 Newday. My name is Nan Shoko. I've been on with Roland Walker and
Beatrice Edu. Thank you so much for staying with us.